Birthday to those of you celebrating your birthdays. And it's always good to be here. Thank God we are here. Together we can have a great time until 10 o'clock. I know I read the guest list yesterday. For those of you who are not listening or who didn't follow the show, I'll repeat same this morning. But I'd like to say good morning to all of you and our deepest sympathy to the Taylor family. Our sympathy to Suakoko Chief Dr. Joel Howard Taylor for the death of Philip Taylor, man. It's so sad, you know. See all over the place. We'll pass by Madam former Vice President to say, no, my our sympathy for the death of your son. It's hard, you know. Okay, let's move on. This morning on the show at 9 o'clock, the Senator of Grand Bassa County, former pro tem of the Liberian Senate, Wonga Milton Finley, is coming here as our guest. And of course, at 8 o'clock, we'll play host to Carrie Manaham. She's the acting managing director for Africa at the Department of Corporate Operation, not corporate, but compact operations at the Millennium Challenge Corporation. She will be here. An MCC delegation has been in town. Carrie will be here this morning to tell us why are they here, who have they met, and a lot of things we're going to talk about the MCC. What is it all about? Every time we hear about it, what do they do? Who do they work with? What do they look up for? Good morning to all of you. Coming up shortly, we'll take a break. But of course, it's a side day for the Giddens family of our Sanoye district in Bon County. It's a sad day for the Taylor family, for the loss of Philip Taylor, for the Taylor, your son, for the Giddens, the son of your sister, Chief Nesua Koko, Dr. Joel Howard Taylor, former Vice President of our country. We're taking a very short break. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome to the OK Morning Rush. Let's take these messages. This notice is to inform customers who have outstanding water and sewer bills of US 50 and above that the Liberia Water and Sewer Corporation will commence a mass disconnection exercise in the coming days. Affected customers are strongly advised to settle their arrears promptly to avoid service disconnection and the inconvenience and embarrassment that may result. LWFC remains committed to providing reliable water and sewer services and counts on the cooperation of all customers to meet their payment obligations. Thank you for your understanding and continued support. The management LWFC signed, and this is in continuation of that announcement. The Liberia Water and Sewer Corporation is pleased to announce the successful replacement of damaged sewer pipes on Benson Street in Central Monrovia. Customers in the area with valid registration will now be reconnected as our technical, sales, and marketing teams visit the community in the coming days. Property owners on Benson Street and nearby areas who are not yet connected to the sewer network are encouraged to visit our Front Street office Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Saturday, 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. to complete their registration. LWFC remains committed to providing reliable services and appreciates the cooperation and support of all customers. The management of the LWFC signed. The Office of Admissions and Records of the Liberia Christian College is excited to announce the registration for regular students, new students, readmission students, and transfer students. Registration dates Regular students registration, January 20 to February 20. Late registration, February 21 to the 28th. And classes will start March 2. Tuition. LCC offers a flat rate tuition of $200 United States dollars per semester. Visit our 5th Street or Dixville campus daily for your walk-in entrance. Entrance fees is only US $10. The Liberia Christian College is accredited by the National Commission on Higher Education and is granted license to offer certificate, diploma, Associate of Arts, and bachelor degrees in the following programs: School of Business, Accounting and Finance, Procurement and Supply Chain, Human Resource Management, Project Management, Entrepreneurship and Innovation, Economics and Statistics, International Business and Marketing Management, Monitoring and Evaluation, and Management of International Organizations, School of Science and Technology, Computer Networking, Data Science and Analytics, Management Information System Telecommunication, Fashion and Garment Design, School of Education, Early Childhood Education, Primary Education, Secondary Education, Education Management and Supervision and Guidance and Counseling, School of Liberal Arts, Criminal Justice, Public Administration and Communication Arts, School of Christian Education, Church Administration and Management, and Pastoral Theology, School of Public Health and Environmental Science, Public Health, Environmental Science, School of Agriculture, General Agriculture, Agribusiness Management and Agroeconomics, Office of the Admission and Records, Liberia Christian College. Signed. The announcement. Welcome back to the show. If you're celebrating your birthday today, we'd like to say happy birthday to all of you. Let's go to the BBC. It's always good we do so you get a gist of a lot of things happening. Opposition leader in Uganda, Bobby Wine, is still in detention. Not detention, he's still in hiding. Togo has arrested and extradited Burkina Faso's former leader to his home country after authorities in Ouagadougou accused him of plotting to kill his successor. Paul Henry Santiago Damiba, who came to power in a coup in 2022 before himself being overthrown by Ibrahim Traoré 8 months later, is accused by the current regime of masterminding an assassination attempt against Traoré. According to the Togolese Justice Ministry, Damiba was handed over to the Burkinabe authorities on Saturday. It says as part of the deal, Burkina Faso promised to ensure physical integrity, dignity, and fair trial rights of Mr. Damiba and in the absence of death penalty. In the absence of death penalty, we're going to have free fair trial. The benefit the men or joy send the member. There's the best it will be free fair. They promise that is a motto. Malawi's energy regulator, like the LERC in Liberia, has hacked petrol and diesel prices by more than 40%, marking the second time fuel costs gone up in 4 months. In a statement on Tuesday, the Malawi Energy Regulatory Authority said the fixed pricing system of the previous government was unsustainable and had led to significant losses. President Peter Mutharika, who returned to power last year, has been trying to revive Malawi's ailing economy. In Malawi, the people say the economy is sick. Yeah, they say the economy is very sick. Well, welcome back to the show. This morning, we hope to talk to the Minister of Information of the Republic of Sierra Leone, Chinoba. We are still concluding last minute. We're trying to conclude, even though we had a lot of discussions yesterday. But we're trying to conclude last minute discussion to talk to the Minister of Information of Sierra Leone. What do we want to speak to Chinomba? Yesterday, Variety News posted something online about Sierra Leone. And this is what the Variety News posted. It ACC to auction seized luxury properties linked to NRA corruption case. The Anti-Corruption Commission has announced plans to sell three high-valued, in this case, the Anti-Corruption Commission in Sierra Leone. The Sierra Leone Anti-Corruption Commission, let me just add it. The Sierra Leone Anti-Corruption Commission has announced plans to sell three high-value residential properties seized as unexplained wealth, following investigations into corruption at the National Revenue Authority. ACC Commissioner Francis Ben Kafala disclosed that the properties, including a luxury seaside residence, will be disposed of through public auction or private treaty in accordance with a court order. Proceeds from the sale are expected to return billions of leones to the state. According to the commissioner, one of the properties is a 3-story ultra-modern seaside home equipped with advanced electronic security systems, smart home technology, and full furnishings. The house also features a penthouse with panoramic sea views, a swimming pool area, a boys' quarter, all described as finished to a high modern standard. A reserve price will be set following professional valuation, he said. So the Variety News reported this yesterday. So I decided to contact the Sierra Leonean government through my friend, the Minister of Information, Chanun Ba. So I sent the story to him and I asked whether it was true. Yes, it is true. The Minister of Sierra Leone, the Minister of Information in Sierra Leone confirmed that everything that Variety reported online is true. And we had a deal to speak this morning. So I was just doing last minute to time reaching. Let's hope we get him. But if we didn't get him, it is true. So the Anti-Corruption Commission in Sierra Leone, headed by a progressive young lawyer, Francis Kafala Bank, has been doing exceptionally well for his country, raising billions of dollars, billions in a B, billions of leones, not US dollars. Maybe you'll say thousands, but in Sierra Leonean money, leon, billions of dollars for the government. So the anti-corruption institution they did an investigation at the Sierra Leone Revenue Authority, and they discovered there were some unexplained properties. The people who got these properties could not tell where they got the money from. I know probably they were looking at how much these people are earning per month, and whether what they were earning per month provided them the opportunity to build the kind of luxury homes they built. So after all of the investigation, they went to court, and now property seizure business came about. This is one of the high-profile properties. So the government, through the Sierra Leone Anti-Corruption Commission, they will auction these properties. They will auction these properties. No, they will auction it. They are saying they will auction these properties, and the money they will be getting from there will go right back to the government's coffers. Now, obviously, they'll put the money back in the government's cover. So that is it. So it is actually confirmed that yes, this is the action. I will go to the House of Representatives to talk to spokesperson Ambassador Robert Hens. Up to almost 8 p.m. last night, the House of Representatives was still in session. Am I hearing that the past few agreements, the past few deals, yes, we will go there to see whether we can talk to the spokesperson to give us a picture of what are some of the things that it did last night. What are some of the things they did last night? Remember, the action in Sierra Leone, like I am saying, did not happen in a trembling of an act. It went to court. The matter went to court. So when people are accused, they are supposed to find their way in court. And I've always said, sometimes when there are some matters that arise, that come about in the country, let's not be judgmental. Let's wait. Let's not equate people. Let's not say, oh, the person did nothing wrong. I'll leave the person. Let's also not say the person is wrong. Somebody just tell you something about somebody, the person is wrong. Sometimes they wait for the process. There is a process here. There is a presumption of innocence on our law that I can always talk about. When a person is accused, he or she is presumed innocent. And there is a process here that's called due process. That process is supposed to be a process that hears before it condemns. So you get accused somebody, send a person to court, you do this, you do that. If you do not have the evidence beyond a reasonable doubt to prove that that person actually did what you say, listen, talking outside are different thing. When you enter the court, talking in the court is a complete different thing. We tired hearing the word about wish on. Oh, they wish hunting the other person. They wish hunting. But of course, sometimes the way the governments can go about doing some of the indictments and things, that's why people think people are wish hunted. And that is the reason why people must trust the justice system of any country. But international reports continue to tell us that our justice system here is weak. The system is corrupt. The system is this. The system is that. We need to do better as a country. If these international reports continue, because listen, these people, they're here, they're not only listening to radio stations and reading newspapers, they have people on the ground. They have boots on the ground here. For these international reports to continue to say that our justice system is weak. Like yesterday, I was just reading a portion of the investment climate report on the country. Last year, they're still talking about corruption. They're still talking about weak justice system. These are things that undermine investment in the country. Nobody want to bring that country. I've always said, money in let noise. Nobody want to bring their money where noise is. On the Rubber Sport Road, we see some intervention there by the government through the Ministry of Public Works. We see some intervention on the road. We see intervention on other roads. That's a good thing the government is doing. When these roads are open up, the roads will not see a particular political party. The road will provide the opportunity, but for people from different political parties to have access and to bring their produce. For me, when these roads are open, and the old man way there in one village is able to come to at least the bigger town to sell her lay, bitter ball, pepper, or cassava, she'll be able to take care of herself, her grandchildren, because sometimes the old man and her grandchildren they're focusing on now. It will provide the opportunity. People bring their big markets to big markets, their produce to big markets. I'm hearing about like Senator Abache was reporting to the Senate that the president in February will be breaking grounds for a lot of roads across the country. If we're able to drive from here straight into Bopolu, taking less than an hour and 30 minutes, if you're able to drive from here straight into Rubber Sports and across different cities, Sestos and all these places, you open it up, it will be a good thing to do. The government, through the Minister of Information, Jerry Limick Pia, is commending or has commended ANC political leader Alexander Cummings for the manner in which he conducted himself on the field that day. These are the things we've been talking about. Did you see how that environment was, where the president was seated, and then Alexander Cummings was on the other side? Even when the president was taking the kick up, I saw Alexander Cummings, I saw the vice president, all of them there. Because at the end of the day, listen, Alexander Cummings is not going to join the Unity Party. Joe Boakai will not join ANC. George Weah will not join ANC or Unity Party. Okay? But they're all leaders in their respective ways. That's why we always, most of the things that can bring tension in the country sometimes are the result of misinformation. You know, some people, when they have the privilege and proximity to leader, when they sit outside a leader, they talk plenty. And especially when they know that leader is a person who like to hear certain things. So when people go around them, Like maybe if the leader is somebody who like to hear people talk about other people to him or her, when the people go around that leader, that's what they will do. They talk about other people because they know the more you do that, the leader think you are an honest person. But sometimes when these leaders meet, a lot of things will come about. They will engage each other in a manner that is frank, bold, but respectful. Take, for example, if Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, George Weah, and Joe Boakai were in a room for 2 hours, just talking about governance issues and some of the issues. By the time they finish with that kind of meeting, they would have understood a lot. They would have trashed a lot of things up, and it would bring some relief. Because, one of them, all of them, will be telling each other what they heard about the other person, and how the other person decided to do this, to get rid of this, to do this, to do that. And the person will give their honest opinion. The person will speak to the issue, and they will talk about other governance issues. That is what we're talking about. We're not always saying when the leader meets, you compromise everything in the country. When Joey and Boakai meet, Joey is supposed to be saying, yes, sir, yes, sir. That's not the kind of thing we're talking about. We are talking about a process where when the leaders meet and their supporters know that they are meeting and discussing leadership and other issues, it becomes difficult for people to infiltrate with lies and gossip and mis and disinformation. Then the country will be good. Let's move on. We'll talk to Robert Hens. Former Mines and Energy Minister William P. wrote something on his Facebook page. And from the way he wrote, it seemed there are things that he started at the Ministry of Mines and Energy that the current minister and the current administration is bringing to the public, but making it to appear like he, William P., and the team at that time, they didn't do anything. By the way, congratulations to all of those who were commissioned by the president. Minister Martina Ketingba, the head for Nokai, but particularly my friend, George Daniel Dillocalen, that guy who believed in himself. He struggled. We struggled together. I know his story. Daniel had to barb. He's a professional barber. Daniel had to barb hair while he was attending Katna University. So I told him, I said, Daniel, I'm gonna read a book on you, from barber to Josh. The story of Daniel Dillocalen, a very determined young man. Yesterday, he was commissioned as the Depco Judge of Bond County. Long story. But let me read what former Minister William P. wrote. Let me read it. Let me read what William P. wrote. He took onto his Facebook page and he wrote there, he says, no dishonesty in professionalism. No dishonesty in professionalism. Since my departure from the Ministry of Mines and Energy, I have tried as hard as possible, given my own disciplined upbringing and long years in leadership and public service, not to be drawn into an unnecessary brawl with anyone, not even with my successor. As I said last year, a presidential appointment is like a borrowed coat, which does not belong to the person bearing the title. I am sure this was why we received full cooperation and support from our predecessor, a courtesy we equally accorded our successor, in spite of our long years of sitting on opposite ends of politics, which is understandable. He said, after all, my orientation and upbringing equipped me ever since to live with disagreement. Disagreements challenge my intellect and enable me to assess my ideas against those of others. But after observing what now seems to be a glaring attempt to bury our achievements, there is now a need to provide clarity on some of the representations being made about the Ministry of Mines and Energy and its activities. This is not because we are craving for attention, credit, or recognition. Instead, such a tendency contrasts sharply with the principles of good governance. And as a historian once said, in order to erase reread history, you must first either destroy those who made or wrote that history. That is, to rewrite the recent chapter of the Ministry of Mines and Energy means you must first destroy those who wrote that chapter. This is impossible while we are still alive. The most recent chapter of the Ministry of Mines and Energy was not written by ghosts or aliens from outer space who vanished thereafter. No. The ministry's pre- and post-2024 narrative, as it is now, was crafted by real human beings whose footprints cannot be obligated by any means, not even by propaganda, however sophisticated that may be. But our silence does not mean that we have no interest in the legacy we labored with others to create during a most difficult period. It does not mean that there is any risk in doing so. And the reason is simple. We are aware that those who serve in the executive branch do so at the pleasure of the president. As an appointed official, it was a privilege for the president to have entrusted us with a turning position of his administrative and executive powers. Whatever we achieved, however revolutionary or unprecedented, was on his behalf. But it is unfair when someone hides behind the same executive grace and privilege and tries to bury our contributions. William P. said, 2 recent instances have claimed our attention. One, launch of the ministry's 5-year strategic plan. It was shocking that during the launch, no reference was made to those who developed this plan. This plan is not a product of the Big Bang theory. It was the outcome of intentional actions and efforts that were facilitated by Mr. Cooper Marcus under the supervision of the Deputy Minister for Planning, Research and Development. Afterwards, the Director of Procurement edited the work. In fact, the 5-year strategic plan was highlighted in our November 2021 handover speech. 2, proposal to establish a national minerals company for Liberia. Every member of the economic management team, interministerial concession committee, employee and staff of the Ministry of Mines and Energy, the media, etc., knows that this was one of the top priorities that we trumpeted loudly during our tenure of service. We went beyond this and drafted and submitted an executive order for consideration by the president. But when it was recently reported that a need to establish a public entity of this nature has been proposed, as if the idea is just being conceived, a pattern emerged which must be quickly corrected. We are not craving for recognition. Instead, it is about respect for other people's contributions and ideas, because thinking is hard work. Nevertheless, needless to say, when that thinking results into a measurable result, then it is noteworthy. Even though whatever milestones we achieved belong to the Republic of Liberia, they did not occur in a vacuum. To build Liberia, which is a national duty, there shall never be a time for anyone to downplay others' contributions. We should stop tagging ourselves with accolades or laurels for milestones others worked hard to achieve. Build on them without seeking to erase the image of those who made it happen. Those who are privileged to be in the public service should swallow their pride and acknowledge the efforts of others, even if they do not personally like them, which is the right. You know, most of the time, I can get sick to my stomach when people take over a particular government institution and create the picture that absolutely nothing was going on. That's bad. Or Rich, I didn't call him mayor, or Wilmon Pay. I think what he's trying to say, well, look, since I left the ministry as a minister, I try as hard as possible not to talk on certain things because that is not the right thing to do. The same way the man I took over from respected me, that the same way I respected and turned over to another person and I expect it to continue. He said, but you know, when the new man or the new administration, when they try to do things to make me look like when I was over there at the ministry, I didn't do anything, then they push me now, I got to talk. He said the two recent things that have been happening, the attempt to establish a national mineral company of Liberia and the 5-year strategic plan of the Ministry of Mines and Energy, it didn't come from the blue sky. We develop it. In other words, what he's saying is that, look, when the Minister of Mines and Energy goes anywhere to launch the plan and to talk anything about a mineral company, all he need to do is, look, thanks to former Minister Wilmon Pay, thanks to the man succeeded. He and his team did a great work on this plan. He and his team did a great work. It is the work we met that we are still continuing. I think that's what he's talking about. So let us look to that. I was there. I wasn't sleeping. He said to develop this thing is hard. So when people do it, don't make it look like you just come in and now the idea just came from you. Less than 3 months you in office, you the one brought the idea. He said, no, that's true. When we were there, we did everything. So just let the people know. Just say we did. We too were part of it. Then we can move on. That's all he's saying. And these things will continue. But for me, it's not a difficult thing to do. To say, you know, my predecessor did X, Y, and Z. Thanks to the administration I left. I really don't know what in public service, what maybe I can be talking out of ignorance. Does that take away from anybody? Let's even leave the Ministry of Mines and Energy issue. But generally, because that's things I've been talking before. Does that really take away anything to when you, I don't want to say praise, when you recognize the effort of somebody you took over from, does that, you're being in public service, does that really take away anything from you? Is it like maybe I would have, I mean, why should I be praising the man? If I praise the man, you know, it will honor my mind. I'm just thinking. Because for me, I don't see it to be anything, but maybe in public service, maybe you can do that. Yeah, welcome to the OK Morning Rush. If we can't get Minister Chinomba, we will move on and we will open the lines for you to have your contribution as we get ready to take our guests at 8 o'clock this morning. Carrie Monaghan from the Millennium Challenge Corporation will be here 8 o'clock as our guest, like I said to all of you. So that is it about some of the things going on in the country. And we want to see our leaders together in the midst of all the politics. When they go back to their respective political parties, they are political leaders. At some point, they're supposed to be coming together. They're supposed to be talking and, you know, comparing notes. Because sometimes the person in the opposition got ideas that are fun. They got contact that the government can use, that the country can use, you know, to move whatever we want to move forward as a nation and people. And sometimes everything is not just bah, you know, but it's okay. When we get to the Minister of Information in Sierra Leone, we'll put him on. But like I said, he has confirmed that the anti-corruption graph in Sierra Leone has been able to chew the code seize on high-profile properties that the Sierra Leone Anti-Corruption Commission has decided to auction. 0777 700 9995 0555 995 995. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Clarence.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Clarence. I'm Gaga. I'm the call from the street.
Yeah, go ahead. Oh, I forgot. I need to call the guy from the house. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, you know, I one person who been listening to the radio and say we must pay left the Ministry of how they call it, mine. I think that the tell letter now he is on a Facebook page that you are read or people are read on your station. I don't know why is he doing this thing. Seriously. When government go somewhere and say, okay, today you are not there again, and you go say that somebody can, that not war, that every day you will be going Facebook and be all kind of thing. No, it's wrong. And I don't want you back because you're not correct. That my second time, third time listening to your station, reading people from Women Pay or Facebook Pay, which is wrong.
The latest one he wrote, the latest one he wrote is wrong. Doesn't it make any sense? Doesn't, I mean, is there?
No, it doesn't make sense.
Okay.
No, they don't people that compare to call you or to tell you thank you for what you did or you got the document and everything. No. You go and sit down.
Are you serious? Are you serious about? Are you, boss man? Are you serious about that?
Yeah, I'm very serious.
Okay, thank you. Let me go to the house and talk to Robert Hens. Yeah, we need to hear about situations at the house. They were there up to I don't know what time last night. Senior Ambassador, like I will affectionately always call you. Good morning.
Good morning. Great to be on your flagship program. Great job you continue to do for our country. Prosperity, George, all of us.
Thank you, Robert. How are you? How is everything? How was work yesterday? When did you leave the Capitol building?
Well, it's been very hectic working for the Liberian people, as committed as our lawmakers are. We left the building pretty close to 9 o'clock. We left on morning hours. What
can you tell us as far as update is concerned? Did the House pass any instrument, anything?
Yes, absolutely. And so, consistent with our rules and procedure, working for the Liberian people, we had to have section, and it took very long time. We assembled, and it took some time, and then the body reverted to executive section. That lasted for quite a while. There are a lot of consultations being made afterwards. The session was being open to the public, where we had the media, everybody present. And then the Committee on Investment Concession, the Joint Committee on Investment Concession, Mines, Energy, Natural Resources, Environment, and Judiciary reported. Of course, they have been having public hearings with respect to the Aslam Mittal Third Amendment. And so that Joint Committee is being chaired by Bond County District 7 representative on the Foley Edward family. And first, he gave the report, very comprehensive report, and then it took several hours for deliberations because, of course, Aslam Mittal is something that their due is something that many people have spoken more to, so that it be able to benefit the masses of our people, especially those three affected counties: Bond County, Nima County, and Grand Bassa. So it was debated for several times before finally looking at some adjustments that were being made in the Third Amendment. Remember, this Third Amendment of the AML, it was being rejected by the 54th legislature. And there were a lot of things that the adjustment were being made. What led to the rejection in the 54th was having control over the put and rail system. So now in this new one, the adjustment being made is a multi-user multi-user system being put in place where Aslam Mittal is going to use it, another group person can use it, and stuff like that. And so, yeah, those some of the adjustments, and also looking at having school, vocational school built in Buchanan, where technical vocational education will be given, and then adjusting the roads, doing roads work, and all of that. Those are some basic adjustments being made. And then licensing fee was at the annual lesson fee was of 50,000 in the previous one. This one is 500,000 every year.
Did they pass the deal on the agreement?
Yes. And so let me state for the record, we have 51 persons, 51 persons in section, and then that deal with several after several deliberations, there are other lawmakers who also came in, and it was being debated, and it got passed.
Okay.
Got passed and sent over to the Liberian
Senate for concurrence. Now, is there any other deal that was passed, Robert? Let's just go straight into it because of the lack of time. Any other deal other than the Aslam Mittal deal last night?
No, absolutely. There was no other deal because given the sensitivity of that Aslam Mittal deal, and then its benefit to the people of Liberia, it took several times. It took several hours for deliberations.
Okay.
Because, of course, the speaker intimated that we should have this as a debate where Liberians of course, will be represented by our lawmakers, and especially in those affected areas, so that they can basically debate this matter.
Most of the time, sometimes these lawmakers are not expressed on particular things. Don't get me wrong. Some of them are expressed in other areas. Do you know whether there was any hearing for express to give opinion on the bill, the new AMLD and all these things?
Well, yes, absolutely. If you were to look on the House official Facebook page, we had this hearing here with the IMCC. The IMCC is the Interministerial Concession Committee, and you have the experts there. Of course, in the investment area, is being chaired by the chairman on investment and concession. And then also, as part of the IMCC, you get the Mines Energy, and the Mines Energy Minister. You have his technician.
Okay.
You have
okay, Robert.
the Ministry of Justice, and that of the
Thank
Ministry
you.
of Labor and Finance. So yes, there were hearings being conducted,
Thank
which
you,
informed
Robert.
the decision of these lawmakers.
Thank you, Robert. Thank you so much. Robert Hens is the spokesperson of the House of Representatives. He said they left the Capitol building 9 o'clock last night. And yes, the members of the House of Representatives last night, they passed the ArcelorMittal amendment. It's going to the Liberian Senate for concurrent. Good morning.
Good morning, Big Girl Clarence Jackson. This is Bananos from Morocco.
Hey, Bananos, how are you?
I'm fine, sir.
Yeah.
And happy belated birthday.
Okay.
Well, you were not wrong and you were not speaking out of ignorance, Big Brother Jackson, when you said in public service, people must recognize, the effort of other people, especially maybe their predecessors. And aside from just public service, leadership as a whole, it is the duty of every leader to recognize their team members. Now, what if, the former minister that left, he did not go with everyone who worked on that plane. There were people who did not live with him or who were at the ministry by employment. They are still at that very ministry and they worked on that very plane. What about them too? Are you ignoring, or is the current minister ignoring their efforts too? So I think you are right that these people, whenever they come, they must give recognition to their team members and their predecessors, because it inspires a broader work drop outcome, instead of just sitting and ignoring what the other people have contributed. And lastly, before I drop in on Big Brother Jackson, I listened to the spokesperson from the legislature. He talked about TVET at in the space of the concession process. Now, I think these things must be done in every other sector, not only with the case of the ArcelorMittal deal. For example, we have other companies, for example, food companies too. Can we encourage these people who are working in these food companies to go to TVET schools, for example, that where they are teaching the production of cakes and other food products, so that they can go and teach and share their knowledge they are having in their particular area. For example, I am working in a company that produces milk. I can go to a particular TVET school and teach how to produce milk, teach people the entire plan for milk production. It helps our country a lot. In the absence of these things, Liberia will not make the progress we expect. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Let's go to the we have somebody on the other line. Let's take him. Hello.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Okay, my name is James Cooper.
Yeah, Mr. Cooper.
We don't have a lawmaker at the lower house.
We don't have?
Because when we take up our time, we go through the concession agreement and we bring before them things they need to look at in the passing bill overnight that someone forcing them. One, let's come to the place ArcelorMittal is sitting at the port of Buchanan. Is the people ArcelorMittal paying for that land they use it? The answer is no. Do the people, the commercial port have access to ArcelorMittal pier they use it? The answer is no. Again, if you look at the concession agreement, it never talk about how many foreign workers ArcelorMittal should bring. will make that recommendation before them. They never look at it. Arsenal Meta, even the guy who using the June or Arsenal Meta is from Ghana. It's from Ghana. Should we continue to go over the things and go to Arsenal Meta? You will meet more Burkinabes than Liberians. They are not looking at this. We wouldn't blame the president because we don't have ideas.
Kopo, how can you say that? You got more Burkinabe employed with Arsenal Meta than Liberians?
I'm telling you directly in technical area that Liberian can occupy. I'm telling you. I gave you the simple one. The guy who using the June is a Ghanaian. The guy who using Arsenal Meta June is a Ghanaian. Did they address the issue with the port? Did they address the issue of the land that Arsenal Meta is using? The answer is no. We don't rather in this country. We just force lawmakers, people who have no understanding of concession, who sit down, call them lawmakers. The experts are sitting down. How much it will take for a lawmaker to pay experts to come? You talk about land ministry and agency. Those people don't have the technical know-how. We have people here that have those ideas.
Okay, Kopo. Thank you. Thank you, Kopo. Let's hear you too. Hello.
Hey, Clarence. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, sir.
Look, thank you for the program. Look, I think that you raise a very good point, but I think you are missing power. Because if you look through the ministry 5-year strategic plan, you read the acknowledgement,
yeah,
you will see that those who participated in the development of our 5-year strategic plan, they are all being acknowledged within our 5 years.
You want to send it to me quick? It will be good. I don't know. It will be very, very good if you had it. Let's read it too, so do the public have an impression that.
So, Clarence, you're a very good journalist. The ministry, I'm not called with authority to give you any document. I'm not. So, yes, I'm not. So, from
but I think, Bossman, I think that the acknowledgement in 5-year strategic plan, the plan is out. I think and anybody will reach out to the ministry, man. I'm sure I can reach out and read it tomorrow.
Clarence, one of the things you can do for your institution is to personalize the institution. To think that Mr. Pay should be singled out to be praised or acknowledged, and now realizing that within the 5-year strategic
plan. No, let's leave that one. When we get a strategic plan, all those who something will read it. I will reach out. I can reach out. The minister, the minister is a good friend of mine.
Very good. That's what you should have done, Clarence, man. You're a good
No.
guy.
1 minute. Bossman. No. That I reject that characterization of me. I was reading what Women Pay wrote, and I have always said for many years, I've asked this simple question for many, many years, because it has happened in almost. Haven't you heard somebody taking over somewhere and say, we inherited a broken place. We made nothing yet. Haven't you heard that? Be honest to yourself.
Yeah, I've been hearing that.
So when you hear that, that's what I've always say. Is it an indication that the person actually met a broken place? Nothing was there. In what context do they speak?
Sometimes it can be true. That you can.
No, man, it's not true. My man, it's not true. You can inherit institution with challenges, but you cannot say you inherited institution that absolutely nothing was there. It's not possible, brother. Leave that one. Sometimes just make yourself human being small and leave your attachment with people, then it can be good. Hello?
Hello, Clarence?
Yes?
This is Oscar calling from Doncaster in Nimba County. Clarence, there is a reason the North I think government can't finish. Because when officials of government can intercede for the past or friends or brothers, they feel that they know more than the other people. Whatsoever the person has done in that ministry can be overlooked. When the government continue like this, there will be North, East, Liberia all of the day. Because if you come as a leader and to see for someone else, I think the little the person do in that ministry or in that government, appreciate the person and say, oh, the person do X, Y, Z that day, and I'm starting for them to continue.
Okay, thank you. Let me take this one, could be the final call because our guest is already here. We want to take her on time. Hello?
Yeah, Clarence, good morning.
Good morning, Brian Tati.
And thank you for the work you do. And I think you are one of the investigating journalists, so I think it's good that you rejected that man's statement.
Don't mind
But
me,
let me
man.
go
You
to
know
the-
what?
but-
I'm
but
not
let me-
gonna statement that.
Yeah, but let me go to the point quickly. You know, when you talk about past president and present president going in the room sharing notes, it remind me about Buya when you were on the air. He said when Tubman was sick and he had to go to London clinic. Then the NBI man went and wrote against Tubman at the time he was vice president and put it on a desk. He didn't return as living human being. He died at London clinic. When Tubman was his daughter and he went in the office, what he saw on the desk, they won't complain against him. So you see these things sometimes it's good that people meet all the time to share notes so that question can be taken.
That's the background of why I say all these things all the time. Because the tendency is, like I said, some people can carry people name to the leader. And when the leader agree and accept it the way it is, the leader will not want to see the other leader. Until that time, when the other leader is given the opportunity to explain him or herself, and the other person say, oh, but I didn't know, I heard it this way.
And sometimes the action will already be taken, the damage is done, and then before you get to realize the truth.
Exactly.
So you see, I was just giving that background, with it, Tubman and Tubman issue.
Exactly.
Thank you so much.
Exactly, Mr. Brian Tati. You're right. You're right. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Clarence.
Yes.
The name is Sandro Colley, and I call from Central Manila.
Yeah.
Yeah, Clarence, this has come to my attention. I don't know, the noise I've been hearing since 2024 up to now, and I did not hear that noise from 2018
What kind of noise?
to 2024. That noise about, my predecessor, was not recognized, they went for the program. I don't know, but I guess Judy Moore was the last Minister of Public Works under Ellen. From 2018 to 2023, all the road projects that the Popo carry on, I don't know whether Judy Moore he was ever invited to any other groundbreaking ceremony or whatever. But was the last Minister of Finance. I don't know whether his name was mentioned at any point in time during the 6 years. So the whole thing about, the president was not recognized. Look, if you did a work, somebody don't have to recognize you. The public saw it. Let us forget about somebody being recognized.
Okay, sir.
Because the whole thing, the president, people had a program.
Thank you. Sometimes when you're not in those things, like I said, it's always good for us to take ourselves from there and put the human face. Because when you put the human face, then you can have the human feeling and all this one. Now, we have our guest here, Carrie Monaghan. I'm very careful in pronouncing people's names. Let me know if I mispronounce, then I can do the correction. Carrie Monaghan is the acting managing director for Africa at the Department of Compact Operations. She's in Liberia. I'm sure born in New York. And a product of Stanford University. I'm sure of that. She's here in Liberia, and she's my guest. Carrie, good morning. It's good to have you, man.
Good morning. Thanks so much for having me today. I'm actually born in Nebraska.
Okay.
And went to Georgetown University. Really excited to be here.
Okay. So, is that the right pronunciation of your last name?
Yes, Monaghan.
Monaghan.
Yes,
Okay.
Monaghan.
Is this your first visit to Liberia?
No, it's actually my fourth visit. I had the chance to come twice in 2013, and then I also came back last September. So really, really happy to be back in Liberia. We've seen so much growth and change over that time. I'm really excited to be back.
What's your impression this time?
It seems that Liberia is booming and there's so much potential here. I see so many young people, so much economic potential, such a warm, friendly country, beautiful natural resources. I got the chance to experience some of your beaches over the weekend, and it's just an incredible place.
You did that over the weekend?
I did. Just a little bit outside of Monrovia. Absolutely gorgeous, untouched beaches. I could see like a huge potential for ecotourism, and it could be a huge tourism destination here. Gorgeous country.
That's good. You are an official of the Millennium Challenge Corporation. You're visiting Liberia. Before we go to why you are here and some of the issues, Carrie, will you just give us a picture of the MCC? Who are you? What do you do? When did you come to be? So people listening to the radio will have an appreciation of what the MCC is.
Absolutely. So, Millennium Challenge Corporation, we call ourselves MCC. We're a small U.S. government agency, so we are affiliated with the U.S. Embassy here in Monrovia. We were created in 2004, so we're fairly young for a U.S. government agency, and we have a really narrow mandate, that is to work with partner countries to develop large-scale grant programs to stimulate economic growth and private investment in that country. The grant programs that we develop are for 5 years. They're called compacts, and countries are actually competitively selected to get an MCC grant. Over time, most of our programs have been in Africa. We spend a lot of our resources on large-scale infrastructure projects, but we also spend a lot of funding and focus on institutional reform, policy reform, and governance in the economic growth projects that we're developing. I was actually first in Liberia in 2013 because we initially had a first compact with Liberia, and that ended in 2021. Mm-hmm. That was a $256 million investment in rehabilitating the Mount Coffee hydropower plant, and we did that with some other partners. The project was a huge success, and that's really one reason that MCC's board of directors in December decided to move ahead with development of a second compact with Liberia. And I really have to credit President Boakai's vision for making MCC move ahead here, and also thank the Minister of Finance, who him and his team, his compact eligibility team, worked so hard to get to this stage. So we at MCC are just thrilled to be back here in Liberia.
That's good. Why are you back here? Why are you here in Liberia?
So right now what we're doing is really kicking off what we call compact development. So this is the beginning of developing the program that we'll be implementing together with the people of Liberia. We usually take about 2 years to develop these programs. That seems like a long time, but these are really large-scale investments in a country. So what we've already done with the government of Liberia is to do a study and an analysis of the key challenges in the Liberian economy. So if MCC is going to invest in a particular sector, what's really going to unlock economic growth and investment? And what's come to the top are the energy sector, so electricity, and transport, so roads and ports. So we're waiting for the government of Liberia to decide which of those sectors they would like to invest in. And then we're going to move ahead to a deeper analysis. So we're going to have a lot of widespread stakeholder consultation, so civil society. We were at the Chamber of Commerce yesterday. We have a civil society roundtable today, working with all sorts of donors, government entities, to really start to do analysis on what are the challenges within that sector, and then have some project ideas, do some detailed studies, so that at the end we have very data-driven, measurable results, and we have a compact that will really surely benefit the Liberian people. So it's an iterative process. It takes some time, and we're really just at the start, but we are so thrilled with the commitment that we've seen from everyone here in Liberia. We're really confident we are going to get to a great compact together.
Do you as an institution have a say in how a particular country uses its MCC funds?
Yes. So we are partners with the government of Liberia. We work hand in hand closely together to determine how the funding will be used. However, the process is really led by the people of Liberia, by the government of Liberia. Currently, the Ministry of Finance is recruiting a team. They are going to lead the process here in Liberia. We'll be supporting them hand in hand at MCC, but they will be consulting around the country, and together we'll make sure that this project we all believe is going to stimulate economic growth and that it meets our mutual priorities. So we're working on this together.
I know we'll talk more about, the MCC Compact for Liberia and all those things, but do you want to give us a picture or an appreciation of this whole issue of eligibility? How does a country becomes eligible? What do you look up for? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So basically every year, MCC creates what we call scorecards. These are different policy indicators from outside institutions, and they're measuring issues like good governance, good economic management, health, education. And the idea behind this is that U.S. taxpayer money is well spent with partner countries that share our values and that are well governed. So we're really excited that Liberia has passed the MCC scorecard. We've seen really positive trajectory. I know that there is a compact eligibility unit within the Ministry of Finance, and I really give them kudos for doing such a great job for getting here. And so basically, MCC's board of directors, that's chaired by the Secretary of State, in December reviewed MCC scorecard and determined Liberia is an excellent partner. Everyone recognizes the huge potential in Liberia for economic growth. Again, wealth of natural resources, for ecotourism, for agriculture. And there's this really deep, obviously, shared history and commitment between our countries, and a young population that can really help grow the economy. So MCC's board felt really convinced that Liberia is an excellent partner for a second compact. And it's actually very competitive to get a second compact. It's
Very
not
competitive.
easy.
It's not easy.
No, it's not easy. It's a very high bar for a second compact. So that I think that really shows the commitment of the Liberian people.
Very good for our country. Now, what informed that decision? What do you rely on? From where do you pull your statistics and your data and everything that translate into your analysis or a decision that I think we can give this country a compact? What do you rely on?
So I think your listeners can go on MCC's website for the details, but this is not data collected by MCC. It's from other institutions. So the World Bank, the IMF, Freedom House, other outside institutions. And we're actually statutorily mandated at MCC to use these indicators. Sometimes they change and shift a little bit over time. But at the end of the day, we're looking for partners who practice good governance and who are really working and committed to help their economies grow.
That's okay. I was reading about the MCC, and I came across the fact that you have a bipartisan support, which is very good. How are you funded?
So we are funded directly by the U.S. Congress. Again, we have multiple U.S. cabinet members on our board, but we get our funding directly from the U.S. Congress. And as you said, we've had very strong Republican and Democratic support over time. And I think this is because of our model. We're really, really focused on clear results. We measure everything that we do. We're transparent. We publish independent evaluations of every project that we do. And we calculate the economic rate of return of our projects. So what are the people of Liberia gaining economically from this project? So I think that those results over the last 22 years that MCC has been in existence have really given us this support.
Do you walk away from a particular country implementing the compact if it doesn't meet your expectations?
So MCC definitely does not ever want to walk away. These compacts are very challenging in every country that we work in because they're large, they have complex policy reforms, but we work through our challenges with our partner countries. If there is, a sudden, very egregious, democratic change in the country, that would be up to MCC's board of directors if a compact needed to be paused, but that's very rare. MCC is really committed to working closely with our partners through all of our challenges.
What can you say about the previous compact for Liberia? Was it successful?
It was very successful. And again, the evaluations of those projects are on MCC's website. If anyone would like to look, it gives a lot of great lessons. The Mount Coffee hydropower plant doubled access to electricity in Liberia. There wasn't really at that time very much electricity, and it doubled the amount of power in the country. And we see that as really a testament to the really hard work that the people of Liberia did to implement that project. There was also a road maintenance fund that was created during the compact, and that still is funded today. And that's funding so that roads that are constructed are maintained and don't fall into disrepair. And that's not something that's easy for a country to fund within a limited budget environment, but we're really proud that that is still funded today. So overall, we found the compact to be really, really successful. And again, if it hadn't been, we probably wouldn't be here today.
Sometimes there are challenges in, like you said, it isn't something small to get get a second compact, and sometimes in the implementation there are lots of challenges, Carrie. Are there lessons that the MCC learned from the previous compact that you're carrying into this new one for the country?
So I think some of the lessons were it's just important to, when you're implementing policy reforms, to understand the political economy of the various actors. And I think it's, like in all of the countries we work in, implementing policy reforms is very challenging. But at the end of the day, we saw that, for example, creating this road maintenance fund, creating the utility regulator, those were really challenging processes. However, they were very successful at the end. So we definitely learned lessons from all of our programs. Not all of our program evaluations are positive in countries we work in, but for Liberia, the results were very positive, and we're really proud of that work.
At what stage of the compact are we at the moment as far as eligibility is concerned?
So right now, the status is that we are just really starting the development process for the compact. It takes about 2 years. So what we're doing now is looking at, what those constraints are to the economy. And over time, we will be developing a project together, either in energy or in transport. Liberia does need to stay eligible in terms of MCC scorecard, but I do think Liberia is on a great trajectory. And over the next 2 years, after that time, we hope to sign the actual agreement, the compact, and then we would kind of start up the operations and start to implement the program. So this is really a long-term commitment, compact development. The whole entire process can take 7 to 8 years because these are large investments, and we have to be sure that we get it right. So we're consulting with local communities, doing detailed studies, collecting data to really be sure that this is a very strong investment and that will show results.
Are we comfortably seated now? Is there any reason why we could be denied any time along the line over the next 1-2 years?
Well, I feel very confident that with the trajectory that Liberia is on, that we will get to a compact. Again, our scorecards are published annually, so MCC's board will always continue to monitor that. But looking at the trends that we've seen in the scorecard, we are confident that we will get there and get to a signed compact.
So we're talking about a signed compact somewhere around what, 2028?
Yes.
2028.
2028.
That's when you could probably put pen to paper.
We hope so.
Are you prepared to let us know? Let's assume we were qualified. Everything we did, like you said, the trajectory, we are progressing. How much are we talking about, Carrie?
It's too early to say. I know nobody wants to hear that, but it really depends on the project and the needs in country. So first, we have to really assess. We don't really come in with pre-designed solutions to a problem. We're working to really dig into what are the problems, what are the causes, what are the solutions, and then design a project and see what the needs are. So it'll depend on the project design and also what funds are available in the U.S. Congress at that time. So we hope in about the next year, in a year or so from now, we would know the total, but it does take time.
It takes time.
Yes.
But do we expect something in the range of what, $1 billion?
We've never given $1 billion. Never given $1 billion. I would be really happy if that happened. We're not that rich.
Maybe we're talking about $500 million in the range of that. We want to hear something.
I know you do, but honestly, it's too early to say.
It's too early.
It's just too early in the process, and we'll have to see.
Do we still expect a lot of, or should I say, additional MCC delegation visiting Liberia after you leave?
Absolutely. We come very regularly, so we will be coming back end of February, early March, to hold some workshops to kind of focus on the problems within the sector that's chosen. And then we have people coming usually every few months. So we have a team of experts in Washington of about 20 people. They're finance experts, gender, trade and investment experts, and they work really hand in hand with their Liberian counterparts to design the project. So we work very closely. Again, Liberia is in the lead, but we work very closely together and travel in country frequently.
How does civil society voice matter in all this?
civil society is a really, really critical part of the process. Basically, it's very important to not only hear from government, but from a variety of perspectives, because different stakeholders really view the economy and the challenges in the economy differently. So typically we'll meet with NGOs, we'll meet with groups representing young people, representing women, representing men, people in rural areas, because it's important to get, again, a real wide variety of perspectives on the economy, and work closely with them as partners to make sure that this compact is meeting their needs.
Well, folks, this morning I'm talking to Carrie Monahan. She's the acting managing director for Africa in the Department of Compact Operations at the Millennium Challenge Corporation. She's visiting Liberia at the head of an MCC delegation, and we're talking everything about Liberia's eligibility for a second compact for the country. And you heard, she says it's a tough thing for a country to have a second compact. Liberia, she's proud, and with the trajectory the country is taking, she believes over the next 2 years, probably we could get to something, so you engage civil society. Have you gone outside Monrovia? Are you going outside Monrovia? Is any of your engagements taking you outside?
We have not yet, but we're early in the process. So definitely the team, and particularly the people in the lead here, will be going outside of Monrovia, because it's really critical to visit different parts of the country to see what the opportunities are for investment. But we haven't had the chance yet, but I look forward to doing so.
Is there any evidence of instance where the MCC, has gone to a particular country eligible for a compact, and from your assessment, from talking to different people in the society in that country, you think these are the issues, but the government think these are the issues, and you have a common ground? Do you sometimes get divided on priorities, issues where your money should go?
Sure. I mean, that's very common because people have different perspectives. And, every country is unique. Every region of a country is unique. Same in the United States. Every region of the United States might have differing opinions on priorities. But that's really something that we work through together with our government partners. So we take all of that information, we take data, we look through it together, and we determine really what is the best way forward. But if we're working in a particular area of the country, it's really important that those people, are on board with this project. Otherwise, it's not going to be effective. So it's important to make sure that engagement with local communities continues along the way, so that they're part of the process. And ultimately, if they're not, the project won't be successful.
Most of these grants you give as part of this MCC process is to countries to provide, promote economic growth. That's one of the main reasons why you do what you do. How do you measure implementation, for example? Do you leave it with the country, give us the money, we are eligible, you give us money, you leave? Do you do evaluation to ensure that, what exactly you want, in the context of the project, what the country is doing?
Yes, so it's actually a very rigorous process. So as we're designing the compact, we set up different milestones and indicators that are tracked and monitored by third-party organizations throughout the way. So basically, along the way, we're determining what results are we meeting, and are we ultimately going to meet our objectives. We also have very strict oversight, financial procedures, procurement procedures. We don't just give a country a check and walk away. It's U.S. taxpayer money, so it's our responsibility to provide very close oversight to make sure that we're meeting our results. And if we're not meeting our results, maybe we need to change the project slightly. In terms of economic growth, we actually, for every project, measure the economic rate of return of that project. So we estimate it in the beginning, and later we're measuring it and publishing that online. And for a project to be approved, we need a 10% economic rate of return. So that means for every U.S. taxpayer dollar spent, you need 10% of the benefits going to the Liberian people. So we very closely monitor and measure that information, and we're very transparent and publish that on our website.
What's the impression you've gotten from leaders in the government or government people you've met in terms of what they think, where they think the second compound fund should go, the projects. What you getting from them?
So, in terms of priority sectors, we are in agreement that either energy or transport is the best
Energy
area.
or transport?
Right. So, either roads and ports or energy. These are really key foundations of an economy. So, if you have increased access to energy or roads, you can grow the agricultural sector, you can grow the mining sector, tourism. Without those, it's really pretty impossible for an economy to grow. So, of all the options, we were in complete agreement when we did this analysis that transport and energy are the top priorities. So now it's really up to the government of Liberia of which one of those they're going to choose.
So of the two, they should choose one?
Yes, correct.
So you leave it with the government?
Yes.
Have you not gotten to a stage where the both of you have agreed on something, you, MCC, and the government, to say, of the two, I think this is where we want to go?
Well, for us, we did a lot of detailed analysis at MCC for both sectors, and we think they're both very promising. We've done initial economic analysis. We've looked at the situation in the country, and we think there's a need in both and great potential for increased trade and investment, investing in either energy or transport. And part of MCC's model is that these decisions are driven by the country. So we leave it to the government of Liberia to determine, within President Boakai's arrest agenda, where is the money best placed.
Where is the money best placed? Well, we'll open the lines very shortly to get a contribution from the public about the MCC. Think it's good Carrie is here this morning, making a lot of clarity on some of the issues about eligibility and all these things. Now, moving forward, who is the MCC going to be working with particularly to ensure that we get to a point where the grant is provided?
So right now we are working with the Ministry of Finance, who's been overseeing the process. So they're recruiting a team, a national coordinator, an economist, a private sector expert. That is going to be the key core compact development team, reporting to the Ministry of Finance, and we'll be working very closely with them. They will be taking the lead for this process in Liberia, and we'll collaborate very closely together to make sure that the compact development process is a success.
That's good. Getting support from bipartisan, both Republican and the Democrat, which is good. It means that at some point there is a political will in funding the MCC and all these things. In all of these meetings in the eligible countries you visit, talk to civil society, talk to government, do you know whether you sometimes talk to political party people too?
We typically do try to consult with multiple political parties because MCC compacts typically span multiple administrations in the country that we work. These are not political compacts. They are for development of a country. These compacts also span the United States political administration, so they're longer than 4 years. So this is so that the MCC investment is not politicized. It's really focused on data and the growth of a country and the development of a country.
How do you ensure that your investment delivers sustainable economic growth beyond the implementation, particularly, Carrie, in terms of institutional capacity and policy reform, for example?
Sure. So one thing that we really bake into our compacts is a significant amount of institutional reforms and policy reforms. And throughout the way, we are working closely with the ministries that are implementing these programs to ensure that they have the capacity to sustain the programs moving forward.
Capacity to sustain.
Right. And we also ensure that the government of a country is prepared to commit to funding these projects later and maintaining them. This is really a key part of our model. We don't want to say build a road and then 10 years later it's in disrepair. So for example, this is why the Road Maintenance Fund was created during the first Liberia Compact. It's important not only to build this infrastructure, but to maintain it. So these are usually conditionalities that we have in our program to ensure that we're not just, throwing away taxpayer money. These are projects that need to be sustained.
Exactly. And then I'm also concerned about risk. What have been some of the most significant implementation challenges faced so far? And I'm thinking, how, have you been able to adapt new management or partnership to mitigate some of the risk in the implementation of some of these projects?
We find some of the biggest risks first are running out of time. So MCC grants, once the 5-year clock starts, we have exactly 5 years to implement the program, not a single day more. After the 5 years, we cannot spend any money. And these are very large, ambitious projects that require studies, that require a lot of effort to get off the ground. And there's always a risk that we're going to run out of time. So we work very closely with our partners to plan, to budget, and to make sure that from the beginning, everybody understands the timelines. Also, cost increases are always a challenge. So we're monitoring costs. When you're doing construction, the costs can go up. I think those are some of the key challenges that we face. But we also try to connect our partner countries together to learn from each other. We have a compact in Sierra Leone that's focused on energy. We have a new compact in Cote d'Ivoire, working with the West Africa Power Pool. So also we have our partner countries, we introduce them so that they can learn from each other and mitigate those risks.
In terms of management and accountability, how do you measure success and value for money?
So we have very clear economic models and monitoring and evaluation for all of our projects. We do what we call a cost-benefit analysis for every project. So again, for every taxpayer dollar that's spent, what are the benefits to the people of Liberia? And it has to have a 10% economic rate of return. We also have plans that show what results are we trying to achieve from this project, and then at the end, did we achieve it? So it's not unusual for us 5 to 7 years after a compact to go back and evaluate it. And then we publish those results online to make sure.
You do that?
We do that. They're all available on MCC's website. These are third parties, independent evaluators that evaluate the projects because it's important for us to be transparent, what worked, what didn't work, and to see did this intervention really work so that we don't repeat any mistakes for projects that didn't work.
Okay, with that said, we can now go to the lines and take few calls. Have marked the time. Karine Monaghan here is Acting Managing Director for Africa, Department of Compact Operations at the Millennium Challenge Corporation. She's hailing an MCC delegation to Liberia, and we are discussing Liberia's eligibility for the compact. It was good we spoke to her because sometimes the way we understand the implications and indications and everything, we think, when we see the MCC people to this country, maybe March will get the money to start the project. She said it takes a lot of time. It requires paperwork, working, consultation, all these things. 0777700995 0555-995-995. If you are a Liberian out of the country, our WhatsApp number is pinned on our Facebook page. Get there and call us. We'll pick your call. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Brother Clarence Jackson, and let me say good morning to our studio guest.
Good morning, brother. Let's hear you. What's your name?
Well, I'm Ramsey F. Joseph, and I do join you from district number 5, Montserrat County.
Good to know. Let's hear you.
Yeah, I just want to tell thank you. And I appreciate you all so much, and the government of America, and also the people of America for thinking about Liberia. And that is why we want to be hearing from our donor partner, with more especially the great United States of America. And looking at our country history, where we came from and where we are, we look forward to America for more support. So, and I really appreciate you for most of the questions you asked. And she answered all. So we thank her so much for her effort, and we look forward to them for the implementation.
Okay, sir. Hello.
Good morning, Clarence.
Good morning, sir.
Clarence, belated happy birthday. My name is Pony. I'm irresistible. I speak from Morovia.
Pony, let's hear you, brother.
Karen, I'd like to say welcome to Liberia. And Karen, I want to thank you for the comprehensive layout analysis on the MCC. You have done quite well. And I think Clarence asked bulk of the relevant and significant question. I'd like to take 2 questions from my end. You don't want to call an amount, Karen, and that's pretty much good of you. But do we expect a higher amount than the previous amount in 2013, 2014? And then lastly, since the money going to be ours, what wrong, Karen, if we want to share it between rural and energy? Let's assume it's 200 million or 300 million. We'll say 150 goes to rural, 150 million go to energy. are we planning to just use only one aspect? Can we share the two?
Carrie, did you understand the question? Okay, write it down. We'll come to you later. Let's go outside Liberia and take this call. Hello?
Hello, yeah, people of Clarence instructions. This has been calling from Morocco.
Yeah, from Morocco. Let's hear you.
Yes, and I listened to your guest, and she mentioned that transport and electricity are fundamental pillars for economic growth, and I agree with her. Because, for example, for me, I'm from the food industry side. Liberia food industry is underdeveloped, and these two pillars, that is transportation, electricity, fuel the growth of food industry, of every food industry around the world. Now, I want to know whether they are considering working with local NGOs that are involved into food industry development initiatives, or they are just limiting it to NGOs that are involved with civil society works. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Let's go. Good morning.
Thank you, my good friend and brother, Mr. Jackson. And let me say good morning to our guests.
Yeah.
Because not only your one, people get.
Yes, exactly.
Let me comment her. You know, that what we usually say, even though those things that when they talk about, when they doing it, they bring their own people, they get their own share, it's all that one we know it. But it's commenting. You have already asked all the questions, and you know, we the Liberian people, when we finish to say the compass, we just finish say it just coming today, and we start to work with it. And you listen to her. When she's talking, she always say the American people taxpayer money.
Mm-hmm.
We need to be careful where we carry and how it needs to be spent. Because they're not thinking that the way Africa will just lavish. No, that's why they say we are careful. So that the people understand it from today. Our taxpayer money are given to government, let them use it wisely. Now, when other people bring their money, they always make sure that they should use it wisely. So that when you ask her, she always tell you the American people taxpayer money. So let me say thank you to her and enjoy that drama.
Thank you. Hello?
Yeah, good morning, people of Piso.
Good morning.
Yeah, let me say good morning to your students there. The nearest grabber political platform environment. According this morning from the morning Congress sitting concession. People, let me appreciate you and appreciate the students. And my inquiry, I want to know from your students there as it relates to the compass in terms of the grading system, which is produce indicators to local that make countries be eligible. And moreover, throughout the period of time of the year, whether this technical compass has been there that we are putting on, whether it comes from the church administration that's in from this, and standard 12 and others that always say, and according to this one, whether it is from the administration or is this administration that they are creating things.
Thank you. She wasn't getting. He wanted to know the measurement. What do you use as a measurement for eligibility? And he wanted you to answer as to whether the compact is the result of the last administration's effort or this administration. Those are your questions. I'm just asking you as he asked them. Hello.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Clarence.
Yeah.
Michael Perkins calling from the South 40 area.
Yeah, Perkins.
Asking her in the studio, do they have any demanding point where they come out to say, okay, then we are to budget, we will decide to do this because this one is important to the Liberian people, especially the city sector, because right now the city is dark, so there is no electricity right now. So I think there must be.
So you want the government to focus on energy, right? Okay, let's talk to you. 0777. Maybe I need to open. Let me see what I can open one line and for women, man. Let me. If you're a woman, you want to call, you can call us on 0777 464050. 0777 464050. You're a woman, you can call that line. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
This is Frank Dickley and the Papa Nimatari.
All right, Mr. Dickley, let's hear you.
Clarence, in your interview with a woman, trying to advocate for the opposition party because we asked a woman.
Hey, man, Baba, man. Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah.
Good morning, Clarence Jackson.
Yeah.
And good morning to your studio guest.
I am Fasu Command, and I do join the conversation.
Yeah.
On the army of the Unity Party Intellectual Bureau. First, let me give it out to the invaluable taxpayer of the of America, you know, for spending their high-end resources into mega projects in Liberia. We can remember during Manafedi time, it was their high-end resources that resuscitated the McCoffey hydro power plant. Now today, the Liberians are getting serious economic dividends. So it is no surprise. But if you compare this
so what a question, sir?
Yeah, my question is we listen to people we listen to people saying that I know they've got our representative there in the nation. I spoke at the.
Damn it. When you read it, I don't know, but hello.
Yeah, Piso, how you doing?
I'm good.
This is Deacon Bob Johnson.
Yeah, Deacon Johnson.
So let me say welcome, Karen, to Liberia, welcome, Padre Liberia, and thank you for the line of question hearing and the answer she provided to the listener. My major concern is what the provision of the whatever amount that will be approved that will account for personnel expense. I just want to know that. Thank you.
Personnel expense. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's hear you.
Whatever amount.
We're hearing you. Deacon Bob Johnson.
Okay.
Thank you.
Clarence.
Hello.
Good morning, Clarence.
Yeah.
This is Edward Spencer Encho.
Yeah, Edward.
I want to say good morning to the Malawi studio.
Yeah.
I want to ask this question. If the State Department any government official, the finance minister, and whatever, can the Millennium Challenge Corporation give their resources to that country?
Come again.
If the State Department, they usually have that targeting sanction and things, if they sanction anybody, the finance minister, foreign minister, and whatsoever in the government, can the MCC Challenge Corporation give their resources to that government to implement that project?
You mean if it was done before?
No, that's before, but if it happened to any government official left or...
Okay, so did you understand the question? His question is, if a country has been affected, not if particular government officials in a country have been affected by the Magnitsky sanction before, does that inform any decision at the MCC? Does that affect anything at the MCC in terms of taking decision for eligibility? Hello?
Yeah, Karen.
Yeah?
Good morning again, and let me thank Karen. When I start and I saw your intro. From the intro alone, to play a part, I conclude, even though I'm not in the ballroom, but the way she introduced our return to the country, with a beautiful, conversation you started. And that I think this is her first time coming here. And I want to ask, what is your favorite dish that is being coming here for the third time or fourth time? Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. We can take two more. We'll give Karen the opportunity. Hello to respond. Hello?
Good morning, Piso. Good morning to the studio guests.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. This is Josiah Sumu from the Commandant Peace Island, Commandant 540. Piso, let me say thank you for inviting the Millennium Challenge, the head of the delegation, in the studio. And those questions you ask are on point. Because most of us, or many times, when they say COPA, we believe with all our people that just 5 minutes in the same part, better money coming road to middle three because we are being assuming speculating for ourselves. So like you ask her, my question to her is, those compact that can come, is there any special funding outside the compact or under the compact that comes to women empowerment? Because most of the time women empowerment. If yes, how the women empowerment push under the compact if there's any program like that under that compact agreement?
But you follow, if you followed the show from the start, you have heard exactly what Karen said. Karen, you got a question? Yeah, you can respond.
Okay, great. First, I just want to thank all of your listeners for calling in. These are really great questions. There were a few questions about the total dollar value of the compact and if it's going to be higher than the last compact. Again, unfortunately, we can't say. It's too early to say. And there was also a question about if they wanted to share between the budget between roads and energy. That has been done in the past, but we are asking the government to focus on one sector because we want to get the most bang for our buck. We want to be sure that this investment has a very transformational impact on a particular sector. And we can't fix every problem in a country. So we have asked the government to focus on just one or the other at this time. There was a question for Morocco. I actually used to live in Morocco, so happy to hear from you there. About the food industry, yes, we absolutely consult with businesses or NGOs working in the food industry because agriculture is a key promising economic sector, and transport and energy connect very closely to that industry. So we welcome meeting with people working in the food industry since, again, this is really a key important thing for the economy. In terms of the eligibility and what administration it's linked to, again, MCC's compacts and scorecards are not political, and they are related to looking at the different trends within a country over time. So we cannot say, is it one administration versus another? This is not a political tool, but a development tool. In terms of sanctions on particular individuals within a country, it's the Secretary of State who is the chair of MCC's board of directors. So if MCC's board has determined that a compact has moved forward, that means the State Department and the United States government is on board with moving forward with that country. So the U.S. administration now is absolutely 100% committed to moving forward with Liberia. Favorite Liberian dish? I think potato greens. The food is very spicy here.
You like it?
I love it. The spice can be a little bit much for me, but I've had some really great food, and I absolutely love it. I think that's about all the questions. I don't know if I missed any, but those are my first answers.
Okay, thank you. Carrie is still here. We still have a little bit of time, so we're still continuing the interaction. So let's go back to the lines and take a second batch of questions. 0777 700 9995. If you're following and somebody have asked a particular question, you are not compared to ask. Let me go to this line for female and take this caller. Hello.
Good morning, Clarence.
Good morning.
Studio guests.
Yeah.
Happy New Year. All the best.
Many
I just
happy
wanted
return.
to provide information, even though I've never worked for the MCC, because I follow them. Somebody asked about gender equality. I know that the company had a specialist called social inclusion specialist. I remember even applying, went for interview and all, and we'll talk about it. So they said they were keeping somebody in-house. So there's somebody there who ensures whenever the company is signed that all the issues around marginalized group, women, how do women and other groups will benefit from the compact. Yeah, for instance, they're doing road infrastructure, just example, right? How does that role impact women in the community? What the men on the project, are they sexually abusing, harassing? They will take all of that into consideration. So that particular aspect, I assure it because I follow it all along. The project will be implemented. The last compact will be implemented in Liberia. So the caller shouldn't have no fear. I don't think it will be changes. I think it will even be more stringent, and the lessons learned will be implemented, improved, and implemented. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Hello.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Clarence.
Yeah.
Good morning to your studio guests.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my name is Jay Kolidubi. I'm phoning from the EPA compound.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know from Madam Karim. Madam Karim, thank you very much to you and the government for black water for everything what you are doing. But most often, if the American government gives such a funding, we always notice that you guys bring experts and things to make sure you oversight the whole entire process. I want to know, in that view, is the pay of you the extra income with you guys? Is it taken up for this money, or the American people pay the extra and then make sure that the money intended to be used for the development of the country? I want to know that.
Okay. Hello.
Yeah, good morning.
Yep.
Thank you, Mr. Jackson. This is Rocket Samuel Natronji from Tokita.
Okay.
Let me commend the video guys and let me also sentence and appreciation to the people of the United States of America for such help and humility given to us in Africa. Somebody suffer for their money and you never suffer for it, and the helping is of great humility. So we say thank you to all of you for that support. Now, my question is that I want to know, because if the way we qualify the first time and this thing continues every year, and it happens again that this year we qualify, is there any other addition for that which we will qualify again?
He's asking about, did you understand him? He's asking for any possibility for a third compact for Liberia in the event we won the second completely and implementations were done. Hello?
Yeah, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning to your studio guest.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a good on the compact, but I want to ask a question which is bothering me right now. The important one, because you talk about anything, you talk about road, and we really need all those things. So the important one, can I please know, thank you, this is so because
I didn't get that question, Maros.
okay, I say the immediate one because it means terror there in the impact. Or the LNJ, the road, or which one is important, immediate.
I think it's like, I think that one is Liberia's prerogative, Hello?
Hello, okay, then?
Yeah?
Yeah, my question is, I know the measure to get to a compact, actual compact is kind of distant, 2 years is there. Is there any possibility to make it shortened by, working hard to even make it 1.5 or 1 year?
Did you get the question? Okay. This could be the final, then we go back. Let's get you right here. Good morning.
Good morning, Clarence. Good morning to your guests.
Yeah.
I'm Ricky Flomo calling from Broadway to be precise, Kobono Sharp.
Yeah, Mr. Flomo.
Yeah, I just want to find out from your guests, for example, if you are qualified for this Millennium goal, you have the money and you are told to do XYZ. Perhaps if you default, you don't do it, and you can be qualified again to accept, or they can accept you again when you are qualified.
Okay, thank you. Gary, second line of questions.
Yeah, sure. So the first question was about ensuring that marginalized groups receive the benefits of the compact. The caller is exactly right. We have something called a social inclusion specialist on the Liberian side and also on the MCC side. This is to ensure that women, men, young people, persons with disabilities, analyzing the impact of the compact on them and making sure that there is equal opportunity to the benefits of the compact and that nobody is left out. So we do a lot of studies within the studies for the projects and in communities to make sure that those groups are not left out. So I'm really glad that the caller was aware of that, and it is something that we'll be focused on. I think one of your callers asked about the financial oversight and how we ensure that the money is used correctly. We have very strict accounting systems and budgeting systems and financial oversight. So basically, countries request funding from MCC on a quarterly basis. And we, once we're implementing the compact, have what's called an independent fiscal agent. This is a firm that's hired to check every single taxpayer dollar to make sure that money is being spent correctly. We also have audits along the way. And again, this is US taxpayer money, so we are very strict about accounting and financial accountability. Possibility of a third compact. It might not be off the table, but first we want to get through the second one and make sure it's a success. We have a long way to go for the second compact. As for the question of if compact development could be made shorter, 1 to 1.5 years, it's pretty unlikely because, again, we have a lot of processes and we want to do detailed studies of the projects that we're developing to make sure, are they technically sound? Are there communities which might be negatively impacted and we should not work in a particular area? Are there environmental implications for the projects? We do these detailed studies to make sure that we are set up for success. process. So we don't want to rush the process. We have the results that we get at MCC because we do this rigorous analysis. So if we rush into a project and we don't do our homework and study it carefully, we might not see the results at the end, or we might end up with a problem. So we're moving as quickly as possible. I assure you of that. But we do need to make sure that we get it right.
Karen, thank you so much for being here on the show, and I'd like to say thanks to the folks at the U.S. Embassy, for always working with us to get these things happening. When do we expect another MCC delegation to Liberia?
So there should be another delegation end of February, early March to do some workshops. So the team is really excited to come out here again.
Any special message for our population?
I just want to thank you for the warm welcome that you've given to MCC, and for really your commitment to working together with the United States. We are just really excited to be here, and given the shared partnership and history that we have, we're really excited to work together with you to develop a program to positively impact the Liberian people. And we are just really, really optimistic about our future together. So thanks very much for the support.
What will you say about the potato green when you get back home?
I will tell my husband we have to find a Liberian restaurant in Washington, D.C. I don't know if there is one. He loves spicy food. So I think that we're going to seek it out in D.C. I'm sure we can find it somewhere.
Acting Managing Director for Africa, Department of Combat Operations of the Millennium Challenge Corporation, Karen Monaghan, was here as our guest. All of the best as you leave Liberia, and wish you well in your ongoing engagements with the different sectors of our country. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks for having me today.
Okay, we are taking a break. We'll be back here very, very, very shortly.
With the bloc that is working in this country, and with the bloc that is now making determination as to where the country go budgetarily, and with a group that is now being recognized internationally. That's where I am.
Hela Bahu as a speaker.
Hela Bahu is in Ghana.
Who is he?
Are you telling me?
You know him.
Well, you do too.
He is your colleague.
All then I'm a colleagues.
The two persons are in Ghana.
Fonati
Kofa is in Ghana. Rachel Kun is in Ghana. Whom are you referring to?
Well, today I'm not seeing communication from the speaker of the Ghanaian Parliament, okay, to attend the conference, to attend the event.
What does that mean?
We gotta move forward. This country has to move forward.
We're moving forward. We're moving forward. The reason why I call you, because I didn't want to speculate on that communication. So I call Honorable Thomas Romeo Quia, and he is speaking. But he just needed to be as clear as possible so we can move forward. Whom are you?
So because Clarence, I have not seen the communication that invited Speaker Copa. I have not seen it. I had no idea at some point in time that he was to go to Ghana. He was invited. I didn't see that communication, so I can't speak to its authenticity. But I did saw a communication from the speaker of the Ghanaian Parliament inviting Richard Cohen and others. I did see that, so I'm speaking to what I saw. I guess what I didn't see.
But in that communication, the Ghanaian Parliament speaker is referring to Richard Cohen as the Right Honorable Speaker. Do you agree with the Ghanaian Parliament speaker that Richard Cohen is your speaker?
I was not part of the decision that generated that invitation.
So who is the speaker?
So get me right. I just said that then I didn't have the occasion of seeing and Speaker Kofa and invitation. I did see the one that came from the Ghanaian speaker inviting Moko, as Speaker of the Liberian government, to attend the inauguration of the new president.
President Joseph Boakai has received and accepted the resignation of Mr. James E. Kiawon as chairman of the President's Young Advisory Council. The president thanked Mr. Kiawan for his dedicated service and valuable contributions to the nation over the past year and extended best wishes to him in his future endeavors. In a related development, President Boakai has appointed Mr. Mandela S. Boli as chairman of the President's Youth Advisory Council, replacing the departing council leader. Incoming youth chair, council chair Boli is a youth leader and seasoned professional recognized for his advocacy for fresh ideas and institutional reform aimed at strengthening accountability and improving effectiveness of youth representation in Liberia. In appointing the incoming chairman, the president expressed confidence in his capacity to provide constructive guidance and to advance policies that reflect the aspirations of young people across the country. The president expressed the administration's focus on engaging young people as active partners in national development and governance. This is the second resignation in over the last months. I think fifth, a female resigned the other day, and the council chair has left. The president has made different appointments in those respective positions. Well, welcome back to the show. So yes, so you heard everything about the MCC thing. So nobody should misinform you about anything. But one thing I took away from the interview I did with her as a Liberian myself is that considering the trajectory, meaning the way the whole discussion, everything is moving, I am sure everything will be good for us. But not until, but we're not putting pen to paper until somewhere around 2028 when we sign on to get the money. But she's expressed explicit confidence in the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning and the team there and the work they're doing. Wonderful for Liberia. Wonga Milton Finley used to be President Pro Tem of the Liberian Senate. He is now back in the Senate as a senator of Grand Bassa County, a politician, a one-time foreign minister, a diplomat, a farmer, and all the other things. Senator Finley has accepted our invitation and he's here. Senator Finley, I'd like to say, firstly, thank you for accepting the invitation. And this is my second public interview with you on the show. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Clarence, and good morning to your listeners.
Happy New Year.
Wish you the same. I hope that it will be a prosperous 2026 for all Liberians.
Yeah, that's good. Wow, I was talking everything, by the time I got to he's a farmer and you started smiling. Like the one you really like him already or what?
Yeah, because you know that's where the real thing, the real work is.
On the farm, making farm.
Yeah.
What do you have? Palm?
No, I have rubber and I'm developing cocoa now. So a little bit of sugarcane, a little bit of plantain.
A lot of people go into cocoa.
Yeah, cocoa is, the price is good. It's a crop that grows, you start to produce, and the yield time is quite short, 18 months. Within 18 months, you start flowering, and then you say by the third year, you have maybe 10% of the yield. And then by the fifth year, you're looking around 40 to 50%.
That's good.
So it's not a bad crop to invest in, but it requires a lot of care.
It does?
Yeah, it requires a lot of care.
Wow. I think it's jealous.
Well, it's a good crop, but unlike rubber that is rugged, you plant it, all you got to do is clean around it, but cocoa is a little bit special.
Okay. How's Bassa?
Bassa is doing all right. I think Bassa is proceeding. We're waiting for some of the development that is happening around the government, focusing on Bassa, the special economic zone, the ArcelorMittal agreement, the HPX agreement. All of those agreements have something to do with the development of Piso, and they will be contributing to the development. As you know, we have the port. The Buchanan port is crucial to all of these concession agreements that we have entered.
I know, and I see the politics is getting heated in Basel. I follow very, very well. I got colleagues there. I follow the daily politics, and you will be shocked with some of the questions I will ask you. But I follow the daily politics in Basel. But I wanted to publicly commend you, to say thank you. I watched you travel in most of the places you went as a former foreign minister, using your skills and everything for the sake of Liberia. When we needed a seat on the Security Council, I saw you go to different countries to meet heads of states, and I'm sure President Boakai thought it was good to work with people like you as a former foreign minister, because you have friends on the continent, in the region. So I want to say thank you for everything you did. I follow you. I follow you very well.
Well, thank you, Clarence, but let me thank the government also for giving me the opportunity to play my role or play my part in getting Liberia on that council seat. And, the foreign ministry was very instrumental in bringing former ministers together and former ambassadors to go and lobby and fight for the seat.
I know. You could be happier than now had Basel won the trophy.
Man, I know the Nima people will be upside down by now. They won't be able to hold me down. Yes, I would have been very, very excited about the young people taking the trophy to Basel.
Did you play sports?
Oh yeah, I play basketball. I play soccer.
Yeah, I see your height.
I play volleyball.
Oh, you play basketball?
I play basketball.
Do you support any team in the world?
Barrow.
Macti Barrow.
Yeah.
That's all?
Mighty Barrow and Grand Bassa County.
You're now a big fan of...
No, none of these.
They are our Chelsea, Arsenal, all these.
No, I don't get excited about that. I watch the game, but I'm not in any one of the...
One of my former bosses would say he supports Lone Star, that's all. But it's good. How is the Liberian Senate? How is the job? How is everything going?
Well, I think the Senate is doing the best they can do. We're just getting back. We're warming up for our oversight responsibility. And of course, the lawmaking part of it. I think everybody is trying to see how we can put forth some laws that will enhance the development and growth of Liberia.
Yeah, I like that. Have you come with a renewed focus? What's going to be? What are you contemplating on this section, this season, this I don't know how, what it is the third quarter or whatever. What's going to be your focus?
My focus will be on vocational training of the young people, because you see, everybody want to do academic work, want to go to college, want to go to the university, but where are the jobs being created? Entrepreneurship. That's where the focus should be for me, the individual development. How can we develop our youngsters to empower themselves so that they too can start to prepare for their family and the future of Liberia. So my focus this time around, or this year, will be basically vocational education for the youngsters. They can still do the college work, but get a trade, get a skill that you can use to help support yourself, and then you can take it from there and continue to go to college.
If you were opening up that statement, what would that mean? Government funding, providing more funding to vocational education, Senator Besanga Finley supporting vocational training in Basel. Give us an idea.
Well, yes, the issue is, government funding, the direction of the government already have that in its plan, vocational training to train young people, but we need to basically increase the level of support for vocational training. And vocational training doesn't necessarily have to be in the city, mostly the rural areas where we can train the young people to be able to make a living in those areas. Train them in how to plant new crops or high-yielding crops, train them how to maintain roads, train them how to carry out the environment in which they live, plumbing, carpentry, masonry, those things that in their community will be useful. I mean, even training the young girls how to plait hair, or even how to bake or how to cook. Now the rural area is no longer really a rural area. We have internet almost in all of the rural areas, and so now the people in the dwellers in the rural area are being exposed to a new way of life, and so we have to prepare them also for that future.
Okay, you back now up Capitol Hill. Have you started active sections now?
Yes, we have. We're holding hearings. We start to hold hearings. In fact, from here, I'm going to a hearing today.
With whom?
Well, it's the ArcelorMittal concession amendment.
Okay, and that's where I'm coming, because I was just speaking to the spokesperson of the House of Representatives, Robert Hayes, this morning, and he says around 9 o'clock last night, the House of Representatives passed the third amendment, the way the COI is coming before you at the Liberian Senate. Now, there are a lot of, and then a caller would call this morning and say, oh, we don't have a House of Representatives. These people don't listen to experts. Nobody, those kinds of things. Senator Finley, what are you going to be looking up for? Your county, Grand Bassa, is one of the 3 counties most affected by ArcelorMittal operation, whether positively or whatever. But what do you want in this third amendment?
Well, look, the third amendment, I chair the Revenue Committee, and it's not Bassa, Nimba, Bong have, there's an increase in the social corporate responsibility from the company. But I'm looking at the nation. What are we getting from this agreement? So I have looked at the agreement, and I've seen the changes in the revenue part of that agreement, the financial part of the agreement, and there are things that one can say. I will say that I would have preferred not to see. I would have preferred to see something a bit different, but I'm not in the executive. The Constitution gave that responsibility to the executive.
Exactly.
But the Constitution also gave the legislature, which I'm a part of, its responsibility in terms of giving out its resources, the country resources. And when we are ratifying, it's either a yes or no. If we're going to amend, it's a no. If we're going to not amend, then it's a yes. So it's a situation where I feel that yes, okay, we can live with some of these tax regime that they have, and maybe in the next amendment we can make some adjustment to them. But overall, I don't see it being a no. Where those adjustments are, you have to give and take in the negotiation. And with my experience, I know that there were some areas that were sticky that the government wanted that they couldn't get, and there's some areas Arcelor wanted that they couldn't get. So they had to reach some compromise, and those compromises is what I will be looking at critically today.
For example, what was there that you thought would not have been there?
Well, you concessionaire getting some duty-free privileges. Those duty-free privileges, the GST, for example, is cut. Instead of paying the full percentage of the GST, which right now is 12% or maybe 13%, they will pay 75% of that or 50% of that. I would have loved to see them paying the entire GST or the VAT, whichever it is, because for me, it's a means to get resources that will address some of these issues that I'm talking about that I would like to see in terms of vocational training. Where do we get this money from to be able to put additional money into vocational training? I would have loved to see some of that money coming in from natural resources, which means that companies like Arcelor will be paying full GST. However, these are things that sometimes the company feel, look, we're not going to use this as for commercial purposes. It's part of our investment, and we're going to pay our corporate tax. So all of these issues are put on the table that most of the common people don't know about. And so where I sit, I can see that there were negotiations, because to pay 75% of the GST, there must have been some negotiation.
Wow. You still hold the view. The last time I spoke to you, you were talking about, I may not be exact in the words you use, but your idea was something like mineral sharing or whatever. Give our portion, sell yours. What we sell our own to you is left with us. Do you still hold that kind of view?
I still believe that we should change the model to production sharing. And with production sharing, then we don't have to think about GST. We don't have to think about reducing the corporate income tax. We go for a straight deal. You pay your share, I pay my share. And I think we would benefit more and get more for the purpose for which we have these concession agreements.
Is it in the third amendment? Did you see something like that?
Well, I didn't see any production sharing. What I've seen, I saw the increase in the royalty from 3% to 4.5%. So you have a 1.5% increment
royalty.
Yeah, in royalties. You also have an increment in the extraction, which means that we expect to get more money in royalties. We expect to get more money in corporate income tax. We expect to get more money from employment of employees, as well as social security benefits. So when you look at the agreement, it's not just looking at the agreement, the disadvantages, but also what is the future of that income into the country. And like I said to people, I've read the amendment. I know the original agreement very well because I wrote the report in 2007. There have been some improvement. There have been some things that lead towards that. Like that's why I said, these things are things that you have to understand. Those who were negotiating what was on the table, what they do to get us to where we are right now.
You're very experienced in the Senate, being first among equals before. So you in my mind, you have a third legislative eye, and those are my words. The way you see it, the way the third amendment is proceeding, do you think the majority senators will share similar view?
Well, I don't think so. I think we have different views. We come from different background. You have economists, you have engineers, you have practical people, and you have to look at it in a way that, is it benefiting our country? Is it benefiting our nation? Is it something that is going to extract more from Liberia than give to Liberia? I don't like to be involved in talk just to be talking. I like to look at, and from an analytical point, when you're looking at these concession agreements, a lot of people criticize Ellen government with concessions. And I can tell you that 90% of those concessions, I wrote the report. I was very involved in a lot of them. And why some of those concessions went through? Because of the time. They were not, people would say, oh, they were bad. but most of them you had no major company in Liberia. You needed some major companies. You needed to bring some major companies so the smaller companies could follow. And so some
You were
of these,
trying to attract investment.
well, we had to. You have to attract investment. You need new capital. You need new capital investment. In the absence of that, it becomes difficult for you to run and manage a government. Some of the social services will not be provided. And so it's not the way most people would like to see it. Even ourselves wouldn't like to see it. I remember one situation where I just basically shut down and say it's not going to happen. And the president called. I said, my president, we're not going to get it. I'm not doing nothing because we'll not move. And I chaired the revenue committee then. And so the revenue committee had to complete before the rest of the other committees. And so we reached an impasse, and this company caved in because they knew that what I was saying, you don't expect us to sit for 10 years when you start exploration before you start giving social benefit. Start now. You can give me that. Let's move on. Give us something to start. And so they gave in at that point. But, you know, I think where we are now, the country needs capital investment. We need seriously a lot of investors to come in.
You think you could reach a conference committee?
Well, I don't know what the House passed. If they came up with any amendment, because if they came up with an amendment, which means they are saying no to this ratification. We want to see this, so we're sending it back to the executive. If they did not come up with that and they say, well, yes, we agree.
We agree everything.
With what is there, even though we have issues with some portion, but we agree. And that will come before the Senate.
But I think they agree because from the spokesperson, he said they send it to the Senate for concurrence.
Okay, well, if it's coming to the Senate for concurrence and they agree and they said yes, I think we will look at the yes. I don't think the Senate is leading towards a issue. They have serious big issues with this particular amendment that we send it back to the executive to renegotiate some of the terms and conditions. So we'll look at that, what they pass, and see what is in this amendment. And the majority will have the way as usual, and the minority will have to see.
Former Foreign Minister, former President Pro Tem of the Senate, Basa Senator Besanga Finley. Now there's this law, there's this bill, there's this. It's been a rock and roll thing. At some point, goes to the whole Council of the Senate. You know, President made impo. It goes back. I don't know where is it now. I think it's still somewhere. The legislature probably is crossed the road again. This port autonomy bill. There are multi-dimensional discussions about it. When you visit intellectual centers, you open telephone lines, express, non-express, knowledgeable, non-knowledgeable individuals are discussing. It depends on who talk from a different perspective. What do you think?
Well, I voted against the bill. I voted no.
You did?
Yes, I voted no. And I voted no. Look, I believe that all public operations should be privatized. What are we doing with public operation? They don't pay taxes. They don't pay income tax, their corporate income tax. They don't pay the social security for the workers. They don't pay dividend when we put them in the budget. So why do we keep these public corporations? We are responsible if they're that good bad. Look, let's get rid of it. Privatize it. Give it to the public. That you, Clarence, can be a shareholder in one of these companies. I can be. My motto that's selling down Waterside in the market can be a shareholder or owner of that company. So, the autonomy bill is not a good bill for me. I don't see any difference in it from what we have now. So, to me, it's not necessary.
You come from you represent a port county. There are others who argue that, look, if that bill is passed into law and give autonomy to the Port of Buchanan, a lot of Basa citizens could get jobs. It could widen the scope of the port. The decisions for employment, other things will now be left with the National Port Authority management. What do you say to those kinds of people?
Well, Clarence, let me say this. If you read the bill, the governing structure of that bill, I think it's section 55.1, the board that governs the autonomy. There's nothing in there that guarantee where the put is, the county or the territory where those puts are will benefit anything. Because the finance minister is on the board. The minister of transport is on the board. The managing director is on the board. There are 3 non-statutory members. Now, here's my problem. The 3 statutory members, one of them will be chairman. But there is no provision that any member of the board will come from the territory. In the case of Basso, not one single person.
There's no provision that one member will come from a particular port area.
Correct. So it leaves the president is going to appoint the board. The president can appoint all the board members for Basso from Sino. That's the president's prerogative, and that's the Constitution that gave him that right. The legislature can't take that away from the executive, from the president. So my issue is, I'm not happy with that. If you say it's going to be an autonomy, I already want privatization. So give me something that will make me feel comfortable if I'm looking at Basso. And when I look at Basso and I look at that law, there's nothing there. Even if you talk about increasing activity at the port, it can be done now. Right now, under the same condition,
The port manager argued that the power to employ is not his.
No, it's not his. But the port, the MPA has its statute. It's a corporation. It's incorporated. So that's how it exists. So even if the port manager, what guarantee you will have the port manager from Basso? The president appointing the port manager again. There's no guarantee that you're going to have the manager or the managing directors from Basso. There's no guarantee in that bill that you will have the managing director, the board, the entire board, and from anybody from Basso. Or if you take the case of Sino, it's the same situation. It's the same situation in Sino. It's the same situation in Maryland. It's the same situation in Monserrato. So that bill for me is a bad bill.
It's a bad bill.
Bad bill.
Who's the lead sponsor of that bill?
Well, I think that bill was sponsored by Senator Lawrence, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know who co-sponsored.
And I'm thinking about coordination, for example, between the 2 senators of Basa. Normally, the pro tem is your sister from Basa. 2 of you are in the Senate. You know, why if the both of you plays an eye? Say, Besonga Finley have got a different perspective from privatization. Normally thought about autonomy. Was it a good thing had the both of you work together on our law so that what comes out is a representation of the both of you? Does it sound good, for example, even though the both of you come from different political spectrums, but does it sound good for a Basa senator to be supporting a bill and another Basa senator disagrees?
Yes, that's what democracy is about. That's the beauty of democracy. Not because we come from the same place or even from the same party that we have to support everything jointly. No. The issue, the beauty of having differences and appreciating the differences is paramount to democracy. The other issue is the Senate function with the committees. Now, if you raise an issue with the committee and that issue is not taken up, then of course, when you get to the point where you have to vote for it, you vote yes or no. I have voted no on all of the oil bill. I voted no on all 8. So I'm just saying
the Oranto thing, everything?
Yeah, everything.
Okay.
I'm saying to you that, look, if we don't agree, doesn't mean that we are fighting.
Do your people think so? Do they see it that way? Because I know there are a lot of politics in Buchanan about your disagreement with the bill.
Well, my disagreement has nothing to do with Senator Lawrence. And like I said, those who know me very well and who have worked closely with me, it knows that I want to prioritize all of the public operations.
That's what you want to do.
Yeah,
You think it's a
LEC,
good idea?
what it makes them more efficient. You think that government is putting money into these private corporations? Take for example water and sewer. They're doing a little bit better, but government is still pumping money in. Government is still guaranteeing borrowing facility for most of the public corporations. Why should that be? Why should we be borrowing? Why should these public corporations borrow? And when they go bad, the government has to pay that debt. So I'm saying if you had the responsibility to provide water in this country, or to provide electricity in this country, or to provide fuel in this country, or to provide services, put services in this country, and it was privatized, the private company will not allow you to what? Steal from them. Because my performance, I will have to perform to be able to keep my job. That's one. The other incentive that will come, I get bonuses when I pass a threshold. You really think somebody will steal electricity from me? No. So and it will be more efficient. You really think that you will cut me off in the middle of the night when I'm paying you? No, you will not do that. You will ensure that those services are properly expended to your clients and your customers.
Have you any idea of where the bill is at the moment?
Well, I know that we passed it the second time and it went to the president. We sent it to the House. I understand the House passed it. Now it's before the executive.
Will you have to come back as far as lawmaking is concerned?
Not necessarily. If the president signs it into law, it's law. If the president doesn't sign it into law within 21 days, it's law.
If he doesn't sign it in 21 days, what came from the legislature?
Correct. Yeah. Yeah.
So the president have got two options.
And then of course he has the option to veto. Yeah.
Let's go back to Buchanan. There is a growing opportunity in Grand Bassa County, and I'm concerned about what people like you and others will do to ensure that most of your people will have jobs. It is about this special economic zone. And the other day I saw Goshua Veso Village and people celebrating. Give us a picture of what it is for the benefit of people who may not know, and how will it benefit Bassa people?
Well, the special economic zone is going to benefit Liberia first and foremost. Because you see, look at our economy. Now, the special economic zone is going to start the industrialization of Liberia. Because it's about, manufacturing. Once you start that special economic zone, you'll be able to give special incentive and to attract investment and investors into Liberia who wants to manufacture goods and products for export, also for our domestic market. So it's a beginning. Now, for Bassa, of course, it's going to increase commerce, trade, and create jobs also. You see, it's not so much the creation of jobs, but how do we create a situation where people can become wealthy, earn an income that you will be able to support your family, support your children, be able to pay your children's school fees, give them a decent place to lay their heads, and support your community. So the job is one aspect, but we need to create an environment, an economy where people can earn an income, get an income. I mean, I have a job, but because the economy is designed in a way that I can go into commerce, I can go into the market and earn an income. So it's more of earning income rather than jobs that I would like to see happening, because the informal sector, we have to create the space for those who are in the informal sector or those who cannot get a job, because we can create so many jobs, but they must be able to earn an income. So that special economic zone is going to do that. As companies come, they're going to hire people for every one person you hire, you probably have 2 or 3 persons that are going to be affected. Not their family member, but commerce and trade, because they will be coming to work. The motorcyclists might have to take them to work. They might have to drink a cup of tea or coffee before they get into to start work. Somebody's going to pick up there. They got to eat. Somebody's going to be cooking kobo who were not doing nothing before. They got more expendable income, so they will buy more things for their children. So it's a spin-off. And so we need to start to look at our economy where you industrialize, your trade and commerce will increase.
Let's also talk a little bit about the the iron ore talent deal. What's your take?
Well, the tailings tailings is now. We met with the president. There were a lot of issues around that. We were demanding that the tailings was for Basso, and that Basso must benefit more than anybody else. Senator Lawrence have asked the president to take it over, and the president honored her request, and it's now with the executive. We don't know where it is, what is happening with it.
What do you want?
As the caucus. No, it's not what I want. It's what is happening now. I think the president have appointed a committee that we will look forward to them doing the work and seeing how far they will go with the tailings. But for us, the caucus, Basel Legislative Caucus, we don't have much to say in tailings anymore. There's nothing, again, with the county. It's strictly with the president's
But
office.
you've made your position clear.
Well, we made our position clear. I think the citizens know where we stand on this matter. And we leave that now with the executive. The president was also elected by the people of Basel. And so he's
Senator
also...
Finley, there's something I'm not going to shy away from asking you. Because as I follow the politics in Buchanan, by the way, you were on one of the radio stations there quite recently.
Yeah.
I follow that. And I follow what is Ablige and all these things. I follow the politics over there very well. Now, one thing that is germinating a lot of discussions in Buchanan, you can understand ahead of 2029, the play will be politically charged, is the issue of the Basel people saying, you are the son. The Basel people now, most of the places talk about 2 phases. I don't know what's the interpretation of 2 phases they're talking about, but, there is this growing concern in Basa that Senator Besanga Finley, I don't know, people guessing or what, there is a view that the Minister of Commerce, one of your sisters, Madeline Dagoze, may likely want to become, which is all right, Senator of Basa. And people think Besanga Finley is laying on her side against Senator Nyobli Kanga Lawrence. Well, 2 sides of the coin. Oh, Basa will lose the president pro tem and all these kinds of things. Have you heard all these politics? Are you in any way supporting the Minister of Commerce?
Well,
does
look,
she want to be a Basa senator?
Well, I don't know where that issue is coming from, but when it comes to 2029 senatorial elections, yes, I would definitely take a side. I will not be.
You're not sitting on the fence.
I will not be on the fence. I will not be on the sidelines. But Minister Dakosa is minister, and there's a code of conduct that has to be honored. And you can't be in the executive. It affected me also, our foreign minister. You can't be in the executive and
in fact, you had to resign, right?
Yeah. And the same thing would be for her until she resigned. And not only is Minister Dakosa, there are other players too that are also in the government. I'm not even sure if Senator Lawrence is going to run for the Senate. That is...
You're not sure?
No, I'm not. We haven't had that discussion. And yes, there are people who have expressed their interest in 2029.
Including Dagosa?
Well, she's entitled to that. And the code of conduct will govern her action. And we have no problem basically working with the minister. She was very active. She's been very, we worked together on the Basel Sports Association. We worked together on some other issues that surrounding development of Basel. And I have no problem saying in this public manner that we wait to see if she will express her interest, and if she expresses her interest, and I see that I believe that she can make a difference, why not?
Senator Finley, you've just said there hasn't been any discussion between you and Nyomble about whether she was wrong. Fair enough. I mean, I don't expect you to deceive yourself and the public. Let's assume she expressed her interest to contest for a second term. Will you support her?
Well, it depends.
On what?
It depends on how they approach the matter, how the matter is going to be approached. If it's not approached politically in the right way, then of course, you know, you're going to have differences. It could be another thing that we all sit in the room and decide, okay, everybody ground arms, let us go in this direction. All of those things are possible. So it's not something
they didn't do it with you. Is it going to work with anybody?
No. You see, with me, I'm different from most people.
Will you lead that kind of effort? Do you want to lead that kind of effort?
If it comes to that, yes, I don't have any problem doing that. I have no problem. You see, like I said to people, I'm a different person. All the people who oppose me know that. If you oppose me in the past, it's a political process. When that process ends, that whole thing is done with. We go on to the next stage of development. Even where I'm an opposition, or I caucus with the opposition, doesn't mean that I would not support all the right things that the government would do. I was independent in President Salih's government. I supported her government. I'm in this government as a senator. I will support those things that President Boyka wants to do that will develop this country. I will not be a hurdle to say, oh, I'm opposition, so I come into box. No, I'm not boxing with nobody.
Senator Finley, an upright answer for Senator Grambassa in 2029 from you probably could ease some of the political, I don't want to say tension, but political discussion and concerns in the country. You think so?
Well, I agree. You know, some of the things that, Clarence, I would tell you what is funny. And people need to understand me clearly. Attacking Senator Finley, who is not in the race 2029, is not going to help you.
You think people are attacking you now?
Oh, yeah, you know that, Clarence. If you listen to the conversation, is Bessinga, this, Bessinga. There's only one reason why people attack you. Because you are strong and they know your ability. So it's not going to... Clarence, I'm not running against you. Why are you fighting me? I'm already in the next government. So your fight against me is not going to help you.
I want to break you down so that you don't flex your muscles against me.
You need to understand.
Indirectly.
You need to understand I got 55,000 votes in Basel.
Where is that cast in stone?
That is history.
Mm-hmm.
That is history. Even there's nowhere, no Basel person has ever gotten that number of votes in Basel. So you got to understand when you're attacking that kind of person, you got to know who you're attacking. It's not going to help you.
It could be a strategy.
I will still get...
To get you let go of what you want to do.
I will still get 25% of that. 25% of 55, that 12,500 persons will follow me. You want to fight that? You sure you want that to go against you in the elections? That is going to be close? 12,500. I say 25%. I say 25%. 13,000 votes. Do you really... And I'm giving you practicality.
I'm listening. I'm looking at your face.
You can attack me from now until Judgment Day. I will still have a good chunk in Basel. And I can tell anybody, and like I've said to you, I will be a factor.
You will fight for the candidate you believe in.
I will be a factor in 2029. If God give me my health and the strength that I have today, you have me to contend with in Basel.
Except that you're not clear as to whether if the Senate Pro Tem wanted to contest, in any case, you will outrightly say, I'll support her.
I will not say
Then
that.
people will
No,
brief.
don't forget
There will
now.
be a sense of relief.
Don't forget now. There's an issue with Liberty Party and Western Finley.
What is it? I don't know.
Clarence. Well, then you should follow the
No,
politics.
you say no. Even if I knew,
The politics is
sometimes you
the
have-
politics. The politics of Basso is between Liberty Party. Western Finley is a factor. Liberty Party is a factor.
The supremacy
and
factor.
and there's no reason why I would say to you that I can't support Liberty Party or I can't support Unity Party. There's no reason for me to say that, and I will not say that because I have supported Liberty Party before. Candidates from Liberty Party, I have supported them because I believe that they had what it took at the time to make a difference in the lives of the people of Basso.
I'm also hearing about Gabriel Montgomery. He's working at the Liberia Revenue Authority, one of your brothers.
Well, Montgomery, I don't know if Montgomery is running because, at the Revenue Authority, they are not allowed to participate in political activities.
Well, I think his tenure will soon be over. You don't know what everybody is running, Senator Finley. You've been too tactical.
I have to be tactical because, like I say to you, all these people are Basso people, and all of them are my bosses, and so they voted in Basso. They participated in this process, so they're my bosses. So when the time comes, maybe once everybody is clear, maybe by the end of July this year, September or so, that we know clearly what is happening. Maybe all of us will just come and say, okay, gentlemen, you go their place, you go the other place, you'll leave the other one here for this person. All of that is possible.
You were elected 2023, am I correct?
Yes.
Now, let me ask you another question. Were there glaring signs in the county that Senator Nyomli Kanga Lawrence campaigned against you?
Senator Lawrence have never supported me politically. Never. Never. So, and I'm saying that's not enough reason to say I put you. There was a reason why you didn't support me.
You could change the course.
Yes. There's a reason why you didn't support me. There may be a reason why I will support you. As a politician, we got to look at what is the best interest
Will
of the
you
country.
change the course?
I'm sure I can change the course. I'm more than sure I
Without
can change
condition.
the course. No, there will be conditions. There got to be conditions. There got to be conditions. You see, politically speaking, we can't just say there will be no condition. We're just going to go into a situation.
Are you
blindly.
talking?
Yeah, we talk. We talk. We
No,
don't talk.
2029.
2029. No, we're not talking politics right now.
Because I wanted to ask you whether she's giving you an indication that. But if you
maybe after this, me and her will have a political talk.
But why would a sitting president pro tem now want to contest to win her seat back? What's informing this your guess? I want to call it guess. What's informing your guess that Nyomli might not want to contest?
Well, there have been no expression of it.
Probably she's wasting too much time. She's supposed to come and say that to you clearly, and look forward to your support.
Well, maybe she might come this year. Maybe she was waiting until.
Maybe she'll come after the interview.
Maybe. And then we can have a conversation.
Before George Weah came to power, there was a popular saying in Basso that a lot of the young people, including how do you call my friend? Va, what about his name? His first name? Maxwell Va. How do you call it about Adoni Greaves and all these people? They were branded as Bezonga Finley people. Is it still like that?
Well, I don't think they were branded as Bezonga Finley people. Bezonga Finley, these are young people that came on board with me 2005 and basically took advantage of an opportunity to make themselves. So yeah, they were basically trained. Most of them observed me, work around me, and decided to go to school and get a degrees. Now, in 2017, I think we decided we were going to support President Weah. We got together, we ran his campaign, and CDC did extremely well in Basso, considering that we had one of our sons in the race at the time. So I wouldn't say they branded as Western Ghana people. I still see them as my children, and not all your children will be with you for life. When they get older, they got to go get married, establish their own family, business, and survive.
What's the relationship between you and Superintendent Caillou Johnson? Is he doing well? Do you think so?
Well, I have to say this in a public manner that I support his efforts. He's a young man. It's a tough job, and I think he's doing very well, working in the county, looking out for the county while we are in Monrovia fighting. He's on the ground doing the best he can do for the people of Basso. And so I appreciate him.
You talk soft but tough. Am I correct?
Well, I try to be soft also, but sometimes we have to take some hard stands.
Basso Senator Wonga Finley is our guest here with the time at 11.5 minutes up to 10 o'clock. It's not time that we hear from you. We're digging deep into Basso politics, and in the coming months and year, there will be more of these kinds of discussions because 2029 is coming, and by the time we get around 2027, 2028, wow, the country will be political now, everybody. 0777-700-99 and 50555-995-995 are the numbers to call and participate with Senator Wonga Finley here. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Clarence Jackson.
Good morning.
Yeah, my name is Gamo. You Hamo. I'm talking to our Mapoka friend, Babweson Kafine Bueno.
He's listening to you, Gamo. You.
Gamo, you so Beson Mobley.
Go ahead. Nime, Blue.
Yeah. Mr. Jackson, what I want to say, our leader, our senator, there's a song in the past of vernacular book, the book of Mugabe, the one Mapo about the Jamo. So as I say, I see. That's all always be that we got beach of there. I want for you to meet the ADC man to carry Colin there.
Okay, Chief. Let's hear you here. Hello.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah. My name is Musa Sharif. I just called to greet my brother in studio, Senator Wonga Finley.
Yeah, Musa.
Yeah, Clarence. Believe in me, that man before you there is a very decent man and an upright politician and a family man. I know him very well. And trust me, that's how he speaks, and then that's how he's firm on the issue. He doesn't take things personal, but he's firm in his action. So, Senator, I say good morning to you, and we are following you up. Thank you so much.
Okay, let's see how it goes. Hello.
Good morning, Clarence Chelsea.
Good morning.
This is Edward Spencer and Joe of 100% proud son of Pastor. So, Honorable Finley, honestly speaking, let me tell you the reason Honorable Finley, I'm going to do hating Honorable Finley in Pastor, including me.
Oh, you hit him?
I used to like him, and I put up for him before. That's clear. Due to his supporter, the late Emmanuel Hulebo, the Maxwell Fan, the Papi Williams, those guys are Nimi. Those guys, look, Honorable Finley supported those guys, the Okonas of Glucose, Philippine United against Dronsky presidency. Those guys went in the 15th country campaigning against Cancer President for no reason. I don't count the recent one now. Now, he's saying that.
No, but what was wrong with that now? That the Basso citizens, they didn't negate the. No. Let's go to the first one now. That they were Basso citizens doesn't negate the fact that they are Liberian and they too have their political parties.
What I'm trying to say, just because I tell you so I know you, is easy, let me go. The whole battle of Dronsky and Wonga Finley. Dronsky is there now. The major operating battle is Nyomli and Wonga Finley. And I think people will never come together. Take my word to the bank. It will never happen.
They will not come together. That's how you think. Okay. Let's hear you too. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah?
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah?
Good morning, Honorable Finley.
Good morning. Good morning.
He's listening.
Okay, I thank you for coming to studio and explain things to us. You know, I'm one person, I don't believe in voting for party. I thank you for personality. I wish I did.
when I was on the city compound when I campaign for you. And thank you. But one thing holding my heart, I want you and the Senator Nyobli and the whole Basso Coco to come together. I believe in a one Basso policy. If you do that, I will be happy. For me,
Okay, sir. I will be happy if the whole Baza caucus came together. It will be difficult. Don't mind these people; they are politicians. It will be difficult for a whole group of people to just see things the same way. Is difficult. Practically, it's difficult. Hello.
Good morning, Clarence.
Good morning.
Good morning to my honor.
Good morning. Good morning. Good
Yeah,
morning.
he's listening.
Yes, thank you so much. Happy New Year to you people. We the pastor, what always that we should not come together in our country. Because the country was definitely on our opinion. Our thing was too poor. Because me my country, because other country, but the pastor was appealing to you. Thank God so much. The opportunity that I can't get up to me to speak to you today. The opportunity of one that will never see you again. They all come together, all work together. You tell them that you got our country.
Okay. Thank you. Hello.
Yeah, good morning, Clarence, and good morning to Senator Finley. This is Francis Myers. I took you in from Grand Baptist Country, Buchanan City, to be precise.
Yeah, Maya. How are you following us?
I'm following you through the Facebook.
Okay, go ahead.
So, what I want to understand is a few things I want to understand from Senator Finley. Why it is true that Broken is gone, the Liberty Party renewed. So the president is here. You have now repositioned back to the Senate. What are those issues for which people from Unabwa, all of the elders from the Baza County, every permanent business people come together and put you into the Lawrence together, the president together, to have a one voice for battle? That's one question. The second question here is, why it is true that you say you don't have interest and you are now running 2029? You don't have any other interest, but you will be a decision maker in 2029. Why it is that all other bills, if you go, for example, for Nima County, so you have a bill on the floor, for which all of the lawmakers for Nima County.
Ask a question directly. We get a loss of time. Thank you, Chief. Let's talk to the final person. Hello.
Good morning.
Yeah, yeah.
Hello?
Just call out your radio, man, please. The feedback is back. Yes, hello.
Yeah, good morning, Piso.
Yeah, good morning.
Thank you. My name is Prince Nascimento Goto. And I do things on my Davidson Digital 13 resident. Let me appreciate and Honorable Phoenix for, as a minister leadership where I am playing in the years, on review and as a person. Mr. Finley, I serve as someone who have that type of strong convictions and love of country. But when it comes to the Bazolian, because I'm not from Bazolia, I'm a Nima boy, but when it comes to some of the good developmental initiatives undertaken within Nima, I want to ask Honorable Finley to see how he can brainwash some of the colleagues, the legislative caucus, to see how they can make Basel one of the people and most vibrant country in Abroad as well.
Thank you. We got 4 more minutes, so the senator will use that time. Senator Finley?
Okay, Clarence, let me first of all talk about the guy who asked a question on the peace agreement, unity thing. Look, Unabwa. They came in because the pro tem said to Basso people that I was a BM. My action was BM.
She was public about that?
Very public one on the air. Wow. And so there were issues, and my response was clear. I don't mix words, just how, and I said, the issue of the tailings, and it was centered around the tailings. My issue was, the caucus had approved of me attesting to the agreement with Steve Ford and Basso over the tailings. So when I attest to something, I don't work for the pro tem. The pro tem is not my boss. She's my equal. And so when you call me illegal, I'm a criminal, then of course I responded that it's not true. She knew about it. She was lying to the public. And I said that. So Basel people came and said, look, no, y'all can't do this. Y'all can't let talk. We went in. The issue of it was a process that had started, and I'm still looking forward to that process. You're not going to, I built my character. I built my reputation over the years. Okay. For you to say my action is illegal or is criminal and was based on criminality, that I was taking an action in the interest of the people of Basel, then it becomes a problem. Okay? So on that front, yes, the process has started. It's a process. It's not something that is going to happen in one day, but we now have something that we say, okay, look, let's start to wait and see and listen to our people. The issue of me going around, or these guys going around to say, don't vote for Bromskin. You know, I'm surprised that people don't understand. Didn't Bromskin oppose Wesley Finley? Didn't Bromskin, these same names of people that was mentioned, these young men who felt their future was also politically not taken into consideration by Councillor Bromskin at the time. And so it was a political movement. And that's why I say politically, when politics end, we move on to the next level. You take, for example, me, 2023. Yeah, I supported President Weah 2017. President Weah did not support me first round in Basel. It was clear that CDC was not supporting President Finley in 2023. What happened after the election? We got back together. So nobody must say it's impossible for me and Senator Lawrence or me and the Liberty Party people to sit down and talk. Have any Liberty Party, the party, Liberty Party, ever sat down over the last 10 years to have a meaningful conversation with me? No.
Are you willing?
Have they done it? Have you approached me? Unity Party have approached me. CDC have approached me. ANC have approached me. So what more now about what is the issue with Liberty Party sitting down and having a meaningful talk conversation? But you already have decided that we'll make this person irrelevant in Basel. Sad mistake. Sad mistake. It's not going to happen. And I'm saying it publicly, it's not going to happen. So the best thing you can do, let's start a dialogue. But in the absence of that, everybody hold their position, everybody hold their ground.
Senator Finley, I'd like to say thank you for coming, but let's get your parting words before we leave.
Well, Clarence, let me thank you and thank your audience. We look forward to trying to put Liberia first. And that is a very serious commitment that I think all Liberians need to take up. The churches need to do that. The different associations in our country needs to do that. This 2026, let us make a difference in terms of how we can improve the lives of the people of Liberia. My colleagues in the legislature, I know that I work with them very well. I just want to say that congratulations to all of them for coming back in 2026. And I look forward to working with them in a peaceful manner where we will be able to exchange and dialogue over our differences, both the House of Representatives and the Senate. To the people of Basel, I want to say thank you for giving me this opportunity to serve you, and we'll continue to serve you. I'm here basically because of the people of Basel.
I'm here basically because of the people of Basa, former pro tem, former foreign minister.